Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. Coming out of SideQuest Studios, this is the Simpsons Index, episode 105, the 5th Treehouse of Horror-thon. Ooh, spooky. I'm your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill, and joining me for this spooky podcast is Jimmy Mac.
G'day, guys.
Bill Calloway.
Good evening.
Nice. And here as always, except when he's not, BT Calloway.
Hello, hello.
When are you not?
Sometimes I miss them.
Okay.
Just doing stuff. I have different guests.
10 times so far.
I know, that's surprisingly low.
And this is the Simpsons Index. This is a podcast where we watch and review 3 episodes of The Simpsons at a time, but the twist is each episode comes from a different decade. Now, twice a year, we like to take an exclusive look at the Treehouse of Horror episodes because, you know, they do function very differently to a standard Simpsons episode, so have a look at them exclusively. And this is your first Treehouse of Horror-thon, Jimmy and Phil. Very excited today?
Very happy to be here. Terrified to be here, mate.
Ooh.
The chills, the thrills, the spine tingly-dingliness. Do you have any preloaded sound effects for like, ooh,
we totally should.
and creaky doors and stuff? Bats flying overhead, witches brewing.
I'm pretending I have a soundboard right now.
Bubble.
Bubble, toil and trouble, bubble, bubble.
Oh,
You've
no.
practiced that, Elliot.
So yes, anyway, starting out tonight, we watched a Treehouse of Horror from the HD era. This was Season 24, Episode 2, Treehouse of Horror XXIII. 23. First released in October of 2012, it was directed by Stephen Dean Moore, written by David Mandel, who is an awesome writer. I really love his work from Seinfeld, and also written by Brian Kelly. In this episode... Oh, wait. I don't do that for this thing. So, guys, what did you think?
I say, well done, David Mandel and Brian Kelly. This was a cracking episode. Had some fun, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the HD Treehouse of Horrors that we've seen, like, most of them have been terrible. It's sort of nice to see a good one. Anyway, so the questionnaire does function differently to a standard Simpsons episode. So here is an adjusted questionnaire. Play count. How many times before tonight have you seen this episode?
Never. Possibly I've seen half of it once. So
Yeah?
probably down for 0.5.
0.
Oh, very spooky 0.
I forgot spook. Damn it.
I was trying for a sexy Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, it was.
Like a normal Antonio Banderas.
I thought I got a bit of Antonio in that. Yeah.
Okay, scary Antonio.
So let's get into the Treehouse of Horror. So the first segment, the sort of like almost a front-loading wraparound, not quite a fully formed Treehouse of Horror act, but
Yeah, the very long intro.
very long intro, basically, yeah. So, of course, this one came out in 2012, so they had to do a Mayan civilization reference. What do you guys think of this one?
Yeah, the conversion looked pretty good. Springfield all done in the ancient Mayan, all the characters and their war paint and piercings and stuff looked pretty good. Yeah, and it was funny. Like, I was caught off guard because I was waiting for the intro to happen. So I was like sitting there waiting, and then suddenly we were just 2 minutes in and I've realized I've got 8 notes. And I'm like, wait a minute, where's this music? And I don't know what show I'm watching now. Yeah, I will say, because it was such a long intro, I just assumed we went straight into the first segment.
Yeah.
So can't have that problem of, okay, I guess this is first, we don't have time for any kind of intro, we're going to get straight to it.
Yeah, there was like an actual arc in this story, which you don't see in a lot of the intro sketches, yeah. What were some of your favourite moments from this bit?
Unquestionably is a bit where they're talking about Homer who's about to be sacrificed. And I was like, now, we know you're going to be sacrificed, but when we cut out your heart and show it to you, could you maybe act surprised? It's some kid's first time.
Yep. No, I really enjoyed that. How about you, James? What did you like about this opening segment?
I liked Homer spitting out his cricket burrito and the crickets were all alive
away.
and running away.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was a really good visual. Like, a lot of stuff in this Treehouse of Horror looked really good.
There's a lot of visual gags, actually. I was kind of surprised because, like, some of the older Treehouse of Horrors, really good and funny, and then things in between that I haven't seen for a long time. I don't remember them being particularly good. They were just kind of like wacky for the sake of wacky, but this was, I was laughing a lot. Yeah, a big difference between this one and a lot of the Teens era ones, which are garbage, is a lot of these were actual parodies, and that's what a lot of the Teens era stuff really lacks. Either because they burned through all the material or they just didn't think of anything good. It was like... Yeah,
when you sort of see things like Harry Potter parodies, which, you know, is a good section in its own right, but it's not a horror. No. So, Phil, anything about this opening section stand out to you?
I do like when Moe's trying to figure out... Sorry, they sacrificed Moe instead of Homer, and they're trying to figure out when the world will end. And the Aztec Fink is going, let's see, 20 years from now, 2,000 years from now, invent and carry forward the leap year. I thought that was quite funny.
Accounting for Jesus.
Accounting for Jesus, yeah.
So the world will end in 2012 and it'll be Obama's fault.
Marge, which Bactoon is it?
13th.
Yeah, I really didn't need Homer screaming over the,
Yeah, the credits.
opening credits, yeah, but a little acknowledgement to Kang and Kodos as well, who, God bless the Simpsons, they tried to get them into every Treehouse of Horror, but sometimes there's just no inspiration
No,
for
but
the
this one's
aliens.
fine. They're just flying past and they're clearly in Halloween costumes, and that's
Yeah.
enough.
But
That's
I mean,
fun.
they did later on in this episode go to an alternate dimension with other alien beings.
Yeah.
That could have quite easily been a Kang and Kronos area.
Well, actually, speaking of that section as well, let's move on to the actual first segment of this Treehouse of Horror, the greatest story ever hold. General impressions, what'd you guys think?
Yeah, that's good. I liked it I like the pun as the title.
Yes.
I liked how the title introduced itself and then dissolved into a black hole.
Mm.
Yeah, I thought it was good. The story made sense. I thought it was logical. Everything fell after each other in a way that worked with the story and
Yeah.
escalated nicely. And yeah, I thought it was really
Yeah, and it
good.
was very much ripped from the headlines. The large hadron collider was scaring everybody a little bit because a lot of brainy people didn't know what was going to happen when they turned it on.
I like how that intro that ends like, you'll be able to tell your grandkids that today was the day we discovered that this is too small to find out anything worthwhile.
Yeah. So other things that you didn't like about this section?
I really like the effect around the black hole. The kind of warped. Yeah, that just looked very good.
Mm.
Yeah, the kind of sucking in gravity space-time look. Yeah, that was really awesome.
Guys, what year did the Simpsons movie come out?
Oh, fuck. It was around...
2006?
Yeah, it seems roughly right.
No, I was dating at the time.
That's how I'm doing
That's
it.
usually she who
okay.
should not be named. But
This is, so we're
I'll bleep it.
definitely post-movie, right? It's
Oh, well after.
if you say her name enough times, she comes up and hugs me, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, because
What name do you say?
Stop it.
Is it?
one more time.
not on a Treehouse of Horror special.
I know.
That's right.
If any time of year it's gonna happen.
But no, this was the person who used to hug me so much I would actually plan to be carrying something when I walked into the house. It's like, got it, carrying this.
Did it just get more and more spiky or more and more fragile?
It just got weirder and weirder for me to be carrying things.
What do we got? 8 full-size tuna.
Well, better not put the.
Why are you carrying your Fabergé egg collection everywhere, Ben?
You never
fragile.
know when you're going to need it.
Beach, your guitar case has a handle. Why are you holding it in front of you?
Just, not sure about that handle.
The Simpsons movie came out in 2007, so
Right.
5 years before this.
I just had these shades of the movie where they're filling the lake up and it's like one more thing, it'll blow up. And then this is like one more thing and the town's like literally filling the black hole. And for me, I just wrote down, reminds me of the Toxic Lake.
Simpsons, yeah.
Yeah. And then when they just that one last thing and it all just goes, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, as broadcast the plot as that sentence was, I do like that it was Millhouse's first and only home run.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really need the follow-up with Kirk as it's okay, I got money for pizza. Oh, no, I'm poor again. I didn't need that, but yeah, Millhouse's home run being the straw that,
Broke the black hole's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that Millhouse finally got one good thing, but it's the thing that also destroys the entire town.
He is like the original Bad Luck Brian, yeah.
Really?
But it sends them to this wonderful world where they're like the king among aliens.
Except Maggie.
Yeah.
Zoon.
Yeah, that was
Soon. But yeah, like you said, Beach, Maggie's left behind. That's a bit.
Annoyed because she's lost her pacifier.
Yeah.
Her
I
dummy.
did quite like that was the thing that plugged the black hole was Maggie's
Yeah.
pacifier.
Yeah.
And then it
Well, it keeps trying to say
it sucked on it a little bit, and then it just kind of just fell into itself.
Brilliant.
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was quite clever in a non-scientific way.
I fucking loved when Bart kept trying to throw his homework away.
Yeah.
And the black hole kept throwing it back. So he was like, fuck it, I'll throw my teacher in.
That was a great escalation.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the terms of escalation as well, I really like how Lisa's just really not who's been throwing things in the black hole, and it's obviously green growing, and then Homer's like, fine, I started up a business where you can throw garbage.
Well, what I really like is you see Marge throw crap in the black hole, and you see Bart do it, and you assume that Homer just didn't,
Yeah.
and then you find out that no, he's started a business throwing people's crap into the black
Was
hole.
it called? The magical crapatorium?
Magical crap hole
Something.
Yeah, it
Crapolium
was a
or
long
something.
name.
Yeah.
removal, yeah.
Almost as long as
Homer's extended fingers, spaghettified fingers.
Creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of creepy. I do like when Lisa goes, Dad, that's gross. He's like, oh, sorry, and hides it behind his back, but then cleans his ear with his one really long
Yeah.
finger.
When he crosses his fingers a lot.
And yeah, I gotta say, I normally think so little of the strangling Bart jokes these days, but that was a good one where he's like, oh my god, I'm a strangling machine now. That was a lot of fun.
I will say I didn't like the joke, Wolf created the oh my god particle. I thought that was kind of on the nose.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I loved when they went, this is the money that, because of constant pestering by Lisa Simpson, we've built this particle accelerator instead of a sports stadium.
Yeah.
And Homer's holding a pennant that says isotopes, and he goes, the pennant works either way.
That is so clever.
I really
Just
quite like that.
again, playing with like the inverse like jokes, you know, the established stuff that they've done over the years, and yeah, playing with it like nicely. And I'm sort of going to be jumping ahead here to the end of the show when we talk about what we recommend, the other things that we're into.
That's a jump.
And I'm going to talk about Donut County for the moment because it's basically the same thing. It's this little mobile game. It's absolutely worth the money where you control a little hole and it's like a puzzle game.
What?
And yeah, your hole starts out small.
That sounds very weird.
Is this like native advertising happening in the podcast?
Yeah, you should have warned
Yeah.
us beforehand.
But you know, I know, because personally, I'm really tired of native advertising. I'm also really tired of like going to the post office when I need stamps. So stamps.com for all your stamp needs. Also, Mark Maron segues.
Yeah. But, you know, if you are going to walk up the post office, you know, you got to be comfortable in the underwear that you're wearing. So, MeUndies offers the cotton fight. Anyway.
Because we're doing the parody of the parody. We're now the thing without getting the money.
Oh, God damn it. No. But yeah, Donut County is this phone game where you control this little hole and it gets bigger the more stuff you swallow. So it's like this really cute puzzly game.
I mean, I just keep thinking you're playing a prostitute.
I mean, I knew you were thinking it. But
That was a Treehouse of Horror right
Something
there.
out there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what I'm going to be recommending, Donut County. Anything else about this segment you want to mention before we move on?
just one last joke I really like, which is the black hole passing by Cletus's shack, destroys the shack, and he's like, "Ah!" and then rips a hole in the ground so oil comes out. He's like, "Yeah!" and then it just drinks all the oil.
Yeah. Yeah, playing with like the good fortune and taking it immediately away, much like they did with Millhouse.
I did think it's a black hole, and then Homer going, is that what we're allowed to call them? And and Lisa goes, it's the preferred term. I thought that was a bit stale.
Yeah, also because immediately after Homer has the bag of pretzels, he's like, "Oh, come on, black hole, help a brother out," and it's like, ugh, that was a bit.
Yeah, that was one bite too many.
I didn't even get that.
Yeah.
No, actually, I didn't get that either until
Yeah.
then.
What's the fisherman guy's name?
Sea captain.
Sea Captain. Sea
Captain
loses
McAllister.
The old sea captain.
both his fake eye and his peg leg get thrown into the hole.
But not the thing he wanted to throw in,
Yeah.
which was a giant marlin skeleton.
Why was he doing that?
Why did comic book guy throw in Disney's The Black Hole?
That's true.
Just other than the double reference.
Yeah. I really like Marge's line, quit bagling my muffin. That sounds like it should be something
That's
else.
a euphemism.
And I do like where Marge went, everyone's thrown something into this black hole. And where the hell is the cat? And they just look at the dog,
Yeah.
and the dog kind of like sits down and looks a bit shifty.
Yeah. Shifty-eyed dog. And when Sideshow Mel is resisting getting sucked in by the black hole, you just see his skeleton go
I
in
know, that was
first.
a
That
bit-
was,
Oh, is that what you-
I loved it. That
and
was
then his just sack of skin goes.
yeah. Oh, so that's sad because like most people made it into the alien world okay.
But not Mel. Just his skeleton and his skin separately. Maybe they can help him. Who knows?
Because he was one of the last people in. Imagine like all the people going, "Oh my god, this worked out all right." Just seeing such a Mel skeleton.
Being gibbed by someone's skeleton as you entered a new realm.
Yeah.
Well, this is...
What was the most popular magazine on their planet?
Oh, like the Mattress King summer blowout.
Insert. There's a kid lying on the ground reading it like
they
it's
were
a
like-
teen
They
magazine.
had like 20 copies of it somehow.
What are you talking about? This is all our wonderful treasures.
I did like the Zune was very cool. It was like the
Zune.
most wonderful piece of technology
My brother
ever.
had a Zune. It was
Yeah.
a piece of crap.
He must have paid $100,000
It was so
for
bad.
that.
And yes, as we know, in the year 2018, Zune is the more popular form of music delivery system.
Hi, Zune listeners.
Hi, Bill.
Sorry. Hi, Zune listener.
Before we move on, how about one praise for Zune because it looked so much fun to do. Zune.
Zune.
Zune. Zune. All right, so the second segment was Unnormal Activity, a parody of some movie. I can't... what is it?
I think it was Look Who's Talking.
Paranormal Activity. Oh, wait.
Parallel...
We've all done it before.
I was going to help brother out.
You meant well.
So yeah, the classic possession with found footage sort of home camera style. What'd you guys think of this?
Yeah, pretty good.
I didn't like it as much. Homer was really creepy in this. All the
Yeah.
bedroom stuff was
Yeah.
real rapey.
This whole episode had a lot of sexual overtones, which was, just going back a moment, Mo is into the rough stuff. That whole bit
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
getting a bag tied around his head and a rope tied around his throat. I like it rough. He liked it going down the
Yeah, that's
stairs. Like, it was weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, I forgot to mention that because, I like to think that, that dude just died with the biggest heart on. Like, I
May
like
we
to-
all go
I
out
like
that
to
way.
think about this, guys. Let's stop and note it.
Write it down in the pad.
But yeah, this was...
yeah, he was pretty pesty.
Yep.
Yeah, with the camera as well. Like, oh, it's turned off.
Yeah, that got
So-
weird real quick.
But I think visually, like, this looked really good. It really looked the part of the paranormal activity sort of style of film.
I wrote down the note, I hope they stay all in-camera effect and they don't switch to something else, which they did for a flashback, but whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that flashback as well, the reason that Marge owed her soul to the devil was kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, you could have had her just tell it, but I think it was almost worth it because one of the books is written The Joy of 666.
Ah.
So I always enjoy a good little sign gag.
Didn't
Yeah.
even see the books.
Also,
so-
one of the other books was Life in Hell, which was Matt
Yeah.
Groening's cartoon before The Simpsons.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a funny thing that, they had. There's a really long scene in it where Homer's peeing and, like,
Oh.
Yeah.
singing a little jazzy pea tune.
According to the time code, it was beyond 20 minutes worth
It was,
of peeing.
it was about
That's
30 minutes
horrible.
worth, yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get the flow going after, post-coital, but not
He's gotta
20
have-
minutes.
Yeah, he's got no liquid in his body at all.
I did like at the beginning, and I always like a good Homer's taking one of Ned's items gags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Homer's filming himself. Ned asks for the camera back. He's like, hero away. And then just drops the camera and sprints off.
Mhm.
Yeah, after saying he's a good man.
He's a hero.
He'll think of me as a hero.
Yep.
Hero.
Yeah, any other moments from this stand out to you guys?
I do like when Wiggum's there, like, well, you've obviously got a demon of some kind. He obviously feeds on your fear. Comes back, he's a skeleton. Hey, he feeds on more than fear.
That was actually quite good.
Well, skeleton gags all over this one.
Yeah,
I do have a Jordan Zanel corner.
Jordan
Zanel corner! It's a thing that happens. You'll get used to it. When he falls down the stairs with the camera, he falls down about
Yeah.
40 flights
Yeah.
of stairs.
Yep.
This went for too long. I don't know why, because
Well, obviously this
Wasn't
episode was running
funny.
short because of that very long intro.
Mm.
And so they're just like, what jokes can we extend forever? Okay, peeing and falling downstairs.
Yeah,
Mm.
good point.
Mm.
they got a good extra 20 seconds out of both those scenes.
Yeah. It could have worked if maybe the camera got thrown free and you just see him falling up and down the stairs.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah.
That would be all right. I'd be happy with that.
Anything else?
Oh, the overt devil's three-way at the end.
Oh, you mean a devil's triangle?
Demon, you.
I like that, yeah. So it's going to be me, Marge, and a demon, you.
Cinnamon.
That was actually, wasn't ready
That
for
was
that.
excellent. But again, really heavy on the sexual overtones for a Simpsons episode.
I mean, I don't know if that's overtones. That's just
Sex.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we're having a devil's three-way in the bed. All right, what's the safe word in case something gets weird?
Yeah, I like it. Homer's trying something that's like way too much for a devil.
two demons.
So good.
So at one point as well, the demon arranges Maggie's baby blocks into writing Get Out. And this
Yep.
was, many years before Get Out.
And then
Sort of
Too
mentioned.
Late, which was neat.
What is that a reference to?
It's going to be Jordan Peele's next project. After Us, there's going to be Too Late.
Mm.
I'm making that up.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makes no
I
sense.
couldn't tell. Your commitment to the bit was really good. I'll give
There was quite a few baby block spelling out word things. in
Yeah.
this.
It does also make you wonder why the demon was doing all those other things, like beating Homer in the head with a golf club and
Yeah.
trying to warn people to get out when he wanted them to stay.
And why did that not wake Homer up, or at least Marge? If your husband's getting bludgeoned to death almost with a golf club by an invisible demon,
Yeah.
it was weird that I didn't even he didn't wake up sore from the beating. He was just like, oh,
Well, he does have Homer Simpson syndrome.
That
that's
is true.
Yeah.
I do like it how the demon, though, like grabs the baby Bjorn and like
Oh,
a
yeah.
nappy bag. And
Yeah, just because he's taking your favorite child doesn't mean he's going to be, a bad parent.
that's right. And the last thing I want to mention in that peeing scene, Homer has his undies on the whole time.
Well, Y front, so he's just
he
using the Y
uses the
front.
little pocket. Yeah.
Oh, he's going through the fence, not over the gate.
Yeah,
I mean, he must. Somebody must.
that's why it's there.
Oh, no, it's over the fence through the gate.
Is that Elliot? Are you that guy at the pub who's like pants to the ground, peeing in the trough, like everything right down to the
And at the
ground?
same time, he's singing "Me and my doodle, we go to the bathroom together."
It's always weird when you
me
see
and
that guy and you're like, I mean, it works, but really?
I mean, it works for 4-year-olds.
Hands on the back of my head.
It's just like surprise.
All right, so the final segment of this Treehouse of Horror, which was Bart and Homer's Excellent Adventure. Time traveling story. What do we think?
I do like that it went somewhere other than Back to the Future, so it goes back in time, realizes his life would be better, so he tries to... I was hoping it would be more him trying to keep them apart, rather than just going back and then enjoying the new life he has.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's just more adventure in that, I
But
suppose.
we got to see Artie Ziff encourage Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Crawl on top of me. I will defeat you.
I had a little cyber glance at you to see if you were slightly insulted by
I was,
that.
I was in hysterics.
Do you do BJJ?
As of recently, yeah.
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 Oh, no, I mean, it looks like a great fighting style, but yeah, it's just for Artie as well.
It
Yeah.
was hilarious. It was fantastic.
I do
Yeah.
like that his starting position is like the inverse Greco-Roman wrestling. Crawl on top of me.
Well, no, that's what I mean, yeah. Like, it's like in South Park when the kids, like, think they're taking wrestling class, it's going to be like WWE.
Yeah.
But they get in and it's like, okay, you mount his back. I'm going to what now?
Yeah, there's some
Not
weird...
wrestling.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
real
it-
wrestling.
It's wrestling, not wrestling.
Yeah, that's right.
It's Homer before his boobs came in.
And we're putting also this one in the playlist of Frink leaving his magnificent inventions to Bart.
Yep. You had your chance.
Yeah.
I do like when he's in the comic book store and the comic book guy goes, I can't believe you're selling me a comic book for $10 that says 25 cents on the cover. And he's like, if you want to pay 25 cents for this comic book, you've got to go back in time. And he turns around and there's exactly in front of him is a comic book that's called Fantastic Foreshadowing. And it had like a Back to the Future car on the front.
Yeah.
Like, well played.
Yeah, what else do you didn't like about this?
I liked it while he's time traveling, he's just going back via Bond movie posters.
Yes, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good, like, signposting for traveling through time.
First of all, it gives you a kind of context for the eras past, and also you get to use a bit of the music, which is, pretty good music
Yeah,
for
I
time
thought that
travel.
was a great idea.
Yeah, we're talking on another podcast about how great Bond music is.
Can be. There are
Can
some
be.
misses.
Oh, and speaking of musical moments, they get a little bird suddenly
Yep.
appear as well as Homer and
Marge and
Marge's
Homer's
thing.
theme, yeah.
And I like how it's playing with it that, yeah, this is now Marge seeing the bad side of Homer. Like,
Yeah, because he's mid-choking Bart. So.
even as a teenager, he was strangling children.
Yeah, which is a bit odd, because he just walks in, I'm the son from the future you don't want, and I ruin all your life. And he just accepts that.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, I gotta say, I thought Homer and Marge's argument dragged on a little long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Marge comes to her senses, inverted quotes, in case you can't see viewers, and decides she's really in love with Homer, not Artie Ziff. Like, in a second.
Yeah, kind of out of nowhere, because presumably that was the last she really saw of Homer.
Yeah, and then the next thing she sees, there's 40 of him from different time portals,
Yeah.
all trying to beat up her son and her husband, and they all fail terribly.
Yeah.
There's not really much to endear them apart from she loves a loser.
Yeah, although I did like, I'm supposed to be with all of you, even me, even you, caveman Homer. That's Renaissance Homer.
Yeah. Yeah, it just turns out, she realized she should have married for love and for polygamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be
Is
an
it
interest.
polygamy if it's the same person throughout time?
These are the questions we'll have to answer when time travel is
I'll have
invented.
to ask Doctor Who.
Yep.
Oh, and also Jordan's time travel anal corner.
Jordan's time travel later.
Yeah, if Homer was in the spying tree, he should have remembered that he'd met up with Homer.
Alternate timeline.
Fine.
We'll get a
can't
whiteboard. We'll start talking about
Can't
it.
have it both ways. I did like it. He was called, hey, this is my peeping tree. Like he'd been there before. I really disliked the Artie line of, why would I suck juice when I could suck face with my beautiful wife?
Yeah.
It was super gross.
But didn't he make a suck face remark to her, like in that episode when he tries to take her to the prom?
The way
Isn't
he
that,
was.
is there a sucking face bit there and
I
like
don't
in the
think
back of
he
the
uses
car?
the-
Got a line about busy hands.
That's right, busy hands.
Yeah.
I think it was just playing on him being a massive creep, no matter
Yeah.
what happened to him.
But still,
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
wish in this segment that we did get like a flashback of how that evening played
Yeah,
out
that'd be
without
better.
Homer's involvement and Artie didn't creep on it because, yeah, that's the thing we're sort of missing because Artie, as far as we know, is still like a
Still
pesty-
went with busy hands, and
Yeah.
Marge still slapped him and drove away, but then just didn't bump into Homer walking home. So,
and then changed their mind and went back to busy
Yeah.
hands.
yeah,
back to busy
guess.
hands.
Oh.
yeah.
Anything else about this scene?
I didn't
segment?
like the Homer's through time part. I just didn't think it was
Yeah.
necessary to finish that bit off. I thought Back to the Future, starting it off, and then a clever finish would have been available to them without a Pope Homer being like,
Yeah.
"Curse them in the name of Jeebus."
Yeah, well, definitely because up until like Bart goes back to the future to see his new life,
Mhm.
it was almost canonical for The Simpsons on how Homer and Marge first met.
Yeah.
It was very close to the timeline of Back to the Future as a parody, and it was
Yep.
really quite strong and well put together. And then
Yeah.
as soon as they went back to the future, and it was Nelson's the bully butler who wedgies himself.
Will that be Hall? That was
Yeah,
that was crammed in there.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. And the rest of it just seems like this was obviously the weakest story out of all four. And it feels like they just wanted to get out of that as fast as they could. And someone went, what about if there was 1,000 Homers? And
But then they lose. Like,
But then they lose, yeah. And it doesn't, we know a few things about Homer. One is he's good at punching and he fights. I can't imagine even a BJJ.
he fights dirty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine even a BJJ trained Artie Ziff.
BJJ. Artie Ziff knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crawl on top of him and find out, man.
But he's got
But also, Homer fights dirty.
Crawl at me, bro.
There's nothing wrong with hitting someone in the family jewels. It's a season 1 quote.
what you
right
want to do is cry, and when they turn their back on you in disgust, that's when it's time to kick some back.
That's right.
Kick him on the ground and run like hell.
That's right. Oh, fuck, I can't wait to do that episode.
Yeah.
And I really wish that, like, Homer of the past actually lent in more to, like, oh, wow, the future's really awesome. I'm just going to, like, hang around here and have fun. Because, like, there's so many awesome things for him. Like, cookie dough in ice cream?
Unnecessarily large TVs, and the globe feels so warm.
Inflation would have killed him, though. He wouldn't have been able to afford Ben & Jerry's
That's true.
at whatever that costs in the States now versus
Yeah, fucking
1974.
It's cheaper than health insurance.
yeah. $12 a tub here for a Ben & Jerry's. Good thing it's fucking delicious. Anything else?
I do like Artie has a little stool he has to step on to kiss Marge.
Yeah, and he still does the leg lift, yeah. He does it like a weird self-referential that we're in a different timeline thing, though, where he goes, oh, you're really good with that whip, boy, just like Indiana Jones, who's played by Richard Dreyfuss in this timeline.
I want in our universe, and I really want to start using that as a suffix to any kind of thing.
I just want to start some arguments where he proclaimed that Richard Dreyfuss was in Indiana Jones, just casually at the pub.
Or would have been a better one.
Ooh, now that's intense.
That's interesting. I wonder if who was the other person potentially thought of for Indiana Jones before Harrison Ford? Was there another?
There were probably a few. I think Ford was like the third choice.
Was Richard Dreyfuss
Stallone?
Yeah, no,
I feel like it was
a.
I feel like it was a bigger, like an Arnie, maybe. It was something
You reckon?
stupid like that, yeah.
Really?
It belongs in a museum.
Or was it in Star Wars where
I don't like snakes.
it was definitely a movie like that where we ended up with who we got,
Yeah.
thankfully. But it was meant to be originally Arnie or something dumb like that.
Yeah, there are a lot of weird stories. Like Terminator was originally
Oh, holy
O.J.
fuck.
Simpson.
Let's see if you can guess him. He died recently.
Prince.
Yes.
You're going to have to go with
You're
Prince.
out of all the guessing games forever.
Prince. Is it some sort of walking clock? No, it was Burt Reynolds.
Oh, wow.
See, now
Okay.
that I can actually imagine that. It's a different take, but I can still kind of get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mustache works in that context.
And I did like the visual that all the kids now had Artie Ziff hair, but I really didn't need, like, all their...
Jewisms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
the
yep.
Jufo-
Oi,
was funny.
caramba. Like, that felt a
Yeah.
bit... meh.
Ugh.
All right, yeah, that about does it for the review. So instead of wackiness and heart, we like to talk about horror and parody. So what do you guys think of the horror in this Treehouse of Horror?
I didn't get any or eeks.
Yeah,
But,
there was
you
a
know.
bit where everyone went, well, I heard Elliot go, "Whoa," when Sideshow Mel's
Skeleton ripped out.
which I was writing notes at the time, so I didn't see it. I was like, oh,
It was
fuck,
just
I've missed
very
something.
unexpected because no one's really been hurt yet. They've
Yeah.
been sucked in. Holmes got his fingers spaghettified, but no one. He doesn't seem to mind too much.
No.
And then Mel just has his skeleton ripped apart.
Yeah. But I guess Unnormal Activity was the only one that was actually going for a horror
Yeah.
thing right there. But also the parody elements, like, what do you guys think of that?
Again, in Back to the Future, I wish they'd stuck more with Bart trying to keep them apart. I think this would have been
Yeah.
more fun, been
Yeah.
more of an adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely some time that could have been shifted around.
But apart from that, it was pretty close otherwise. Well, I don't know if the whole one was really parodying much.
No.
Nah, it was just, again, taken from the headlines kind of thing, but not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
From
same
the
with
thing.
the Mayan thing, taking from the history books.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Unnormal Activity, I think, was a really, like, visually, I thought
Yeah.
it was nicely
Yeah.
Simpsons-ized.
They do a lot of similar things, like the ghost pulls down the blanket, or the woman just stands up and stands next to the dude and just stares for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's very unnerving in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work so well with that in a cartoon because they've got to animate them so it looks like they're
Yeah.
standing still for a long time,
It doesn't
which is a
quite
weird
have the
thing
same
to do.
eerie effect, yeah.
There's like they're not moving, but we have to move them a little so it looks like
Yeah.
they're not moving.
So ultimately, did this feel like a Treehouse of Horror?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's not as, horror-based or violent as some of them have been, but you still get parody out of it, and I feel like nothing fucks up terribly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not quite the heart of like the first few. With
Yeah.
like, which one was that? Where was it? Like 1 or 2 where they get the new house that's on an Indian graveyard and
Bad
the walls bleed.
Treehouse.
That
Yeah,
was
that's
so
number
good.
one.
That was one.
Yeah.
I think that's. I also think that's from memory, and maybe I'm thinking about it when I was 14. But I think that's still the creepiest one. 'cause
Oh,
it
there's
was
some
like-
unnerving stuff in that where it's like, Lisa, the butcher knife, Lisa. And you're like, I'm a little freaked out.
Are you my conscience? No. Yes.
So it wasn't quite on par with that, but it was pretty good, I thought.
But yes or no, would you watch this one again?
Not for a while.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot to get out of it, but if you're sitting comfortably and it comes on, sure.
I reckon I'd watch up until the end of the black hole bit, and then I'd ditch the Paranormal Activity Back to the Future version. But yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it's a Treehouse of Horror of diminishing segments.
Yeah, diminishing returns.
Everyone's good for their notes, yeah, I'm assuming.
I do like it in the cold open where Moe's head becomes a soccer ball. He goes, "Wow, soccer's even boring for the ball."
Oh, I mean, I agree with him.
That was all right.
No, Dad, it's a black hole. That was going to be my next guess. It wasn't going to be 3 stray dogs.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I do
That
like
was good.
the giant concrete Mayan broke George Washington's head off the monument. What's it called? Mount Rushmore, and made him kiss Abe's
Now kiss.
That did make me laugh.
Yeah, a good
And the other one
now
swings
kiss
up just to
joke
give him a
always good.
thumbs up. Just to be
Yeah.
like, yes.
Actually, I really enjoyed them destroying the world. I thought there was some
Yeah, I
great
thought it was
visual
awesome.
stuff there.
Yeah, especially that they made it so goofy.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
who said the world being destroyed has to be serious?
That's true.
And there were a couple of good like Jebediah parodies as well, with like the Mayan Jebediah and then later with the hippie Jebediah in 1974. Yeah. All right, guys, it is time to rank this thing. On the Simpsons Index, we rank using our 6-point scale, which starts down the bottom at failure. But maybe if the episode was just meh, you give it participant. But for the good rankings, you got okay bronze, good silver, excellent gold. But for the best, the very, very best ones, the ones that are spookily good, you give cubic zirconia. I'm going to go first. Let me show you how it's done. I'm giving this one a silver. You know, I do sort of judge Treehouse of Horrors on a curve. I sort of give them a bit more leeway because they are these far out fantastical things. And, you know, they're short segments. They don't really it's not as egregious when one of them fucks up, you know, because there's still the other segments you can fall back on. But, you know, I felt like we got 2 above average segments and then 2 below average segments. So, you know, I'm sort of splitting the difference and going a nice solid silver. Jimmy, what do you reckon?
Big old bronze.
Big old bronze.
Yeah, I liked it. I wouldn't watch it again soon, but I liked it. I was surprised I liked it because most of the modern stuff I hate.
Yeah.
But I laughed quite a bit, and Demon You and Cinnamon will remain funny to me probably forever.
All right. How about you, Phil? What are you ranking this thing?
I think I'm going to go silver, only because, weirdly, the 2 parody parts of it were the weaker part, and the 2 original writings, the Aztec and the Black Hole, I thought were the stronger bits.
Interesting.
And I'd like to reward that individual creativity. And yes, I do feel like Demon You is going to be part of my lexicon for a while now.
Maybe you're
Cat.
describing like a bad deal or something.
It's like a demon 3-way. How's that work? Demon You. Cinnamon?
And BT, finish it off.
I feel like I'm going to go with a bronze. I had some fun, but I feel like it's one episode that, I would want to give it a bit more time before I watch it again, just so I forget enough of it to, get some of those jokes again. But decent, but didn't quite have enough for me.
All right, so that'll average out into being a dull silver. This will actually be joining another Treehouse of Horror from Season 18, Treehouse of Horror 17. That's the one where Homer's the blob and eats everything, and the Golem episode, which a lot of people like, but I fucking hated.
I didn't like that one.
Which one's the Golem episode?
Krusty has like a old Jewish golem in the back of his like prop warehouse, and so Bart gets it to do stuff for him, and then they make a Fran Drescher bride for him.
And it's exactly as annoying as Fran Drescher.
You're thinking Gollum, not Golem.
You're not Golem.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Golem of Prague, Franz Kafka, that kind of
Okay,
thing.
yeah, gotcha.
I thought the same thing as well when Elliot said it. And then it was only because I heard Ben's Golem. I was like, wait a second.
Yep.
That's not a Schmiegel.
Bit of feet of clay. Yeah.
No. And it also has The Day the Earth Looks Stupid, where they do like the Orson Welles War of the Worlds parody sort of thing. And yeah, other dull silvers are 24 Minutes, which we reviewed together a few podcasts ago.
Yeah.
And The Nedliest Catch, where Mrs. Krabappel and Ned Flanders get together.
If only I could listen to a podcast about Edna's entire romantic life.
Well, it just so happens that our last episode, episode 104, was our all Skinner and Krabappel, the rise and fall, their entire arc of their relationship.
Well, there we go. What an age to be alive. I'm going to listen to it on my Zune.
Zune. The future of music.
All right, before we move on, is that reputation justified?
Is that reputation justified?
Justified.
Backup singers
I
now.
know.
That's
It's
fun.
expanding.
Oh, yeah.
Robert David Sullivan of the AV Club.
Okay, he doesn't have a nickname, does he?
No, he doesn't. Let's make one up based on his review.
Yes.
Sorry, it's a bit of a long one, but I feel like it's worth it. He gave this episode a B, which is pretty on par with what we gave it. Yeah, that's like their shiny bronze, dull silver. Anyway, in the early years of The Simpsons, the annual Treehouse of Horror outing was a fun contrast to most of the show's episodes. Yes, there was warmth. Yes, subtlety. Yes, lessons learned. And yes, attempt at a coherent story. Just a lot of gross out humor and a chance to see Springfield stretched out even further past reality. Yes, that the entire show has adopted these qualities. The Halloween tradition doesn't seem as special, but like the couch gag at the start of each episode, Treehouse of Horror tempts us with a chance to see something that doesn't feel borrowed and a bit dumbed down from the show's glory years.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
The fair Robert David Sullivan.
That is, I'm going to call him Mr. Vanilla.
I like that.
That was just like custard that had.
Yeah,
just-
I
it
don't
was
think you watched
just
that episode at all.
Yeah. Actually, you don't even know what it's
There's
about.
nothing to do with the episode.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for the HD era. We're moving back to the teens now, where we're going to be watching Season 17's Treehouse of Horror 16. We'll be back. 16. The age of the adolescent beast.
That's 66.
And we are back, and we just watched our teens era Treehouse of Horror, which was Season 17, Episode 4, Treehouse of Horror XVI, aka 16. First released in November of '05, it was directed by David Silverman, written by Mark Wilmore. In this... Oh, wait. Fuck. Again. Oh, well.
Again, you have like 100 episodes of in this episode, only like 5 without. So.
I know. I'm just going on auto podcaster.
Go easy on yourself, Elliot. It sounds very good.
Thank you. Yeah, what'd you think of this one, everybody?
Yeah.
I have some good times with some of them, but I really hate almost all their exit lines.
Yeah, the end of each one was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Also, it was very hammy. On
Yes.
a lot of it.
Hammy is certainly fair.
Yes, it was definitely a foot-long Subway with extra ham. Now available at Subway. Please sponsor us.
Lots of ham and cheese.
I don't think they're. I've got some things to say about Subway later on.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to sponsor us.
Some references just don't age well, and it's not their fault.
Let's just peel
They
this
could have
bandage
known.
off. We're here. Like, yeah, the wig and Big Jared from Subway. Oh my God. What does he say as well about his sexuality?
Sexually ambiguous.
No, there's no ambiguity these days.
Not anymore.
Moving right along.
Please stop.
All right, so let's get into it. Play count. How many times have you seen this Treehouse of Horror before tonight?
Never.
Quite a few, because I found myself pre-quoting a fair bit.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
0.
Ooh.
0 is the scariest
0
number.
watches.
Oh,
Yeah, I've actually seen this quite a bit as well. I'm sort of flipping between
Yeah.
whether or not I like this or not. Like,
You don't. I'm gonna answer that for you, big fella.
thank you for clearing
Straight
that
up.
up.
Yeah, I feel like everything I like gets like a kick to the shins at some point.
Yeah, there's a lot of undermining in this.
yeah.
All right, let's get into it. So the first segment, the baseball with Kang and Kodos. What'd you guys think?
Liked it.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like that part. But
Yeah.
I love King and Kodos, so it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
anything they do, I'm kind of okay
And
with.
I've also got in my head, you know, the bit where they're like, and the steroids make the players look like freaks. Freaks. Freaks.
Just grows that little shoulder alien.
Yeah, I quite like that bit. I think it's in my head every time I see something odd. I'm like, freaks.
I did like the bit where the commentator says, let's go back to the highlights of this game where there was a giraffe-shaped cloud that came during the rain break.
Yeah.
The commentator was like MVP for me in this section because they've got like the aliens are like, we've got an accelerate.
And we seem to be bathed in the pale green glow of some kind of accelerate. Who'd have thunk it?
Again, great twurge. Very
It's
good.
still boring.
Yeah.
Do it faster.
Well, yeah, Jimmy, Phil, you know, you guys are our American sports football fans. You guys not that into baseball or?
Not really. I don't think I've ever watched a game.
No.
So, I quite like sport generally. World Series are on at the moment. Like
Yeah.
literally over the weekend, they played a couple of games. A game was played today, tied it up. But baseball is pretty dull.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It is dull.
it's cricket just with in America.
Yeah.
It's a bit faster than cricket, but not a great deal.
Yeah, that is like the sports conversion, isn't it? Their
Yeah.
baseball is our cricket.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
fair.
like highlights wise, you go, oh, this could be interesting. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, there's a lot of not stuff going on for a while.
The most baseball I ever watched was Beach when me and you were in New Orleans. And
We watched baseball?
it was at that restaurant.
How drunk was I?
We were in New Orleans.
Pretty goddamn drunk.
And it was that World Series where the fucking Cubs won. And they make a joke in this Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah, it'll stretch the universe of time. Maybe the Cubs will win then.
Yeah. What was it, 113 years when they did finally win it? It seemed likely that
The
they wouldn't.
gif of Bill Murray live at the stadium when that win happens, there is nothing more wholesome in the world.
I haven't seen it, but I'm going
No, I
to
haven't
check
seen
it
it
out.
Oh, Bill Murray watching the Cubs win. Oh, it's so glorious. Because apparently he's got like a reserved seat at every Cubs game.
Wow.
Yeah.
But how much is that costing him?
Probably pennies on a Bill Murray salary.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Human sadness, it cost him a lot.
Oh, that's true.
Over his
yeah.
lifetime,
The,
yeah.
The
Oh,
shockwave afterwards, you'd be like just leaving, going straight to the bar. Yeah, it's like an 8-day hangover. And they play like 192
I
games.
know. Just
That's
sadness all year round.
In a year, baseballers play 192
Yeah.
games.
It's like
Something like
80 something, yeah.
yeah, it's a
Fucking
lot.
hell.
Yep.
It's actually 162.
Anything else to say about this opening section?
No, they suck God out of the TV
Oh, yeah, I
Or-
forgot about that bit.
or
I do
into
like
the TV. I don't know how it
the
works.
universe. Yeah.
You know, yeah, when it eats itself.
I like
That's
the end
kinda
of it's fine. I'll leave a note.
Yeah, I do like the post-it note with just Treehouse 14 or whatever.
Yeah.
It was.
That was a good start. That was the highlight of this episode. Downhill after that. Just
Fair
all downhill.
Yeah, they did have a good joke,
Yeah,
you know, the
actually, I think
spin-off
that's
of the OC, Pomona. Yeah, to be like if there was like a Sydney equivalent of the OC and then the spin-off series, Castle Hill.
Hey, we'd be in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd watch that one episode.
I don't know if you guys would be.
We'll have
I'm
to...
pretty sure.
Yeah, they'd be the comic book nerds. They're already the character.
Yeah, we're the token geeks.
Sick.
Yeah, they're the best. He's the best character in the OC. Not that I watched it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure. Audrey.
Everyone wants to be the Misha. Everyone ends up being the Audrey.
He's watched it.
Yeah. Well, Elliot's watched pretty much everything under the sun, I think.
California,
Apart from sports.
It's a good show.
New South Wales.
Oh.
Here we come.
Oh, this is getting worse.
It sure is. Let's move on. So the first segment of this Treehouse of Horror, Artificial Intelligence. Again, fucking excellent pun. What'd you guys think of the segment otherwise?
I mean, I don't know if it's an excellent pun, but
It works.
yeah, there's some. Again, I'm very kind of split on this one. There are bits I like, and then bits I really don't. So
Did you like? Oh, my Flandro doodles.
Yes.
yes, I did.
That part was
Yeah.
excellent. I do think that, and I think this is a note that I can have throughout this whole episode, is that there's a lot of good one-liner gags, but the story and the treehouse horroriness is kind of not really there.
Yeah, so this is more going for a direct parody of the Haley Joel Osment artificial intelligence.
Yep.
The Stanley Kubrick, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah,
Was it?
Yes.
yeah. He'd been
Why
trying to
is
get it
Haley
made
Joel
forever.
Osment the thing you remember?
Like, was he still alive when they made it?
No, he always wanted to make it, and the technology was just not there at the point. So as kind
So
of like,
Spielberg?
so Spielberg kind of picked it up after his death and kind of made the project he always wanted to. Yeah, it's mixed, but I don't think it's a bad movie.
Oh, I think it's a fine Saturday afternoon flick.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird one for a Saturday afternoon, but sure.
You should watch The Shining this Saturday afternoon.
Yes, I
Oh.
still haven't seen that
Yeah.
yet.
Watch that before AI
Yeah.
or any of the bad episodes of The Simpsons again.
Yes, I agree.
I got so many to get through, though.
No.
So I'll just tick off a joke that I didn't like. I hated when Homer went, "Oh, we'll tell it a paradox. Like this statement is a lie,"
Yeah.
and then you'll blah blah blah. Like this just went on forever.
Went way too long. Transversely, bits in that segment I did like, or that scene I did like, was Marge trying to wake Bart up from his coma. It's like, I got you that bike, ring ring. There's the sadness on
Oh.
her face, and she's like, ring ring.
Yeah.
Sad ringing. Yeah. And I also like Dr. Hibbert when he's like, he's not dead, he's in a coma. This way I get to keep billing you. You already used that joke. Well, you didn't laugh the first time.
Yeah. Because, yeah, that was my note. It was sort of like a down tick for that first one. It's like, you brought it back. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I did like when Bart jumps out the window into the pool and like lands and dies on the concrete, and Lisa looks out the window and goes, "Mom, remember how you said we wish you'd never grow up?"
That is just...
Yeah. That sunk in slowly for me, and then it hit me hard. I was like, damn, that's dark.
Yeah.
That's real dark. That's darker than I thought Simpsons ever got, but it was like, whoa.
Yeah, more than like within the first 30 seconds of a bit.
Well, especially for Lisa. It's just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's the best way to put this? Although I did like the robot child brochure, which is like now sass free.
Yeah. Oh, and I love when Raphael goes, "You want me to boot him up?" and just kicks him in the ass. Like, literal kick in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
I did like, again, a lot more Homer strangling Bart in this, but when he strangles the robot, he's like, "Why are you metal?"
Ugh. I'm halfway between that joke.
Yeah.
But no, for me, it got ruined when he's like, wow, the windpipe is surprisingly responsive. You do like a zoom in on it.
Creepy.
Like the line, sure, but it was just like, oh, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, fiddling with the windpipe. Like, yeah, examples between these Treehouse of Horror. This is like why we like to compare. This is an example of no, that was bad.
No, bad Simpsons.
Punch me in the Flanderdoodles. I just got to that note. It
Yeah.
still made me laugh.
Actually, yeah, and with Bart dying, I like as well how he died halfway through saying cowabunga, and yeah, when he wakes up, he goes, bunga! Wait, what?
I found it slightly disturbing where he says to the robot, eat my shorts, and the robot does eat his shorts, and then shits out a teddy bear,
Oh,
and
so
then
cute.
gives it to Maggie. And then Homer's like, make me a kitty. Or a rabbit.
As he rips his pants off.
Oh, what about Homer getting the robot to make him waffles?
Oh, creepy. Also
Yeah.
creepy.
That's
His
very
face
creepy.
lifts up. Yep.
I thought that was so good. It looked so god-awful. I loved it.
I do like, he's like, you're my favorite son.
Oh, hey, Bart. Yeah, just on David being able to make multiple types of food. I did like when he gives everyone ice cream, and Bart's like resentfully leading it, like, oh, it's actually good, but also I hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was an example of a drawn-out gag that I liked.
Yeah, because it was enough time for like you can see him going, I hate this and I hate your ice cream. He's like, actually, I love this ice cream. And he does it for like 2 seconds of furious licking
Yeah.
and then goes back to hating again. So it's not like the same thing. It's not like enough time that it changes perspective, I think.
And, you know, the robot did make fucking chocolate vanilla swirl. I mean, not even Frink's magical ice cream making cow Mutilda could make that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know if you're just making this up.
No, he's
No,
not.
that was in an episode. Any other notes?
Zoos give animals what they can't have in the wild. Boredom, obesity, loss of purpose. It's the American dream.
Yeah.
I do like the mutant peacock exhibit.
Yeah.
This is where human stem cells research led us.
Yeah, peacocks with scorpion tails for feathers.
And fucking like 15 eyes.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of
snake tongues.
disturbing.
I did quite like when the robots took Bart and just kept prying him on feelings and love.
Yeah.
And eventually he resorts, I said I'm a human, not a girl.
Yeah, I do like that other one, which is like, I could cut grass at 3 different levels, but I could not love.
And he's like, yeah, I get it.
Maybe you could teach me to love.
I
Very
good. One of the robots goes, after it's revealed Bart's taken all their parts, he's like, and he peed on me. He goes, well, you are a Unibot. He's like, what did he call him?
Lavatron.
Lavatron. The worst transformer.
What does he transform to?
Um,
Mr. Whippy Van?
Plain.
a very depressed robot. Just like Optimus Prime, but it's just sort of sitting and thinking a lot.
Wow. Just the statue of the thinker.
This has got more deep than I really was ready for.
The end with Homer with he gets, is it David's legs attached to him?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like too stumpy and weird.
Yeah, it was a bit odd. I did like the line, I have a boy's ass with an adult's diet.
And then, yeah, his legs just buckle. Like, I really wish, like, he did, like, a sausage that broke the camel's back thing there, where, like, he ate something and then...
Punk.
But, yeah, I did love the animation of the buckling there.
Yeah, and just for that, and before we get to the terrible ending, the one bit I did like is, and that, again, I hear it in my head when certain things happen, is Marge is going, you told me he was at summer camp, and you wanted to believe the lie. And I was talking about, yeah, you wanted to
No,
believe
culinary school. That's even more absurd, yeah.
Yeah, very reminiscent of It Takes Two to Lie. One to lie and one to listen. Any other notes?
Just that shitty possessed ending.
Yeah, the weird poltergeist ending was, I don't know. It seemed like it was the equivalent of, and I woke up and it was all a dream.
Yeah, like, was there no other out for this segment?
I don't know, it just ended. Like, there was no reason you couldn't just end it as, oh, well, we're a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, couldn't you just end it as Homer falls over because his tiny robot legs explode and that's the end of that bit?
Wasn't it? It surely was just playing on, it was all just a dream, but the dream isn't
Yeah.
over. It's a different nightmare.
Yeah,
Now
it's like,
you're
oh.
possessed by the devil.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're out of work, but you're still possessed. Oh, it's stupid.
I don't know, it just seemed like, I don't know why you bring it up to then immediately shut it down again.
Yeah, really, again, undercutting, sort of like we said at the top. There's a lot of undermining.
It almost feels like the end of the episode where all the teachers are eating the kids, and then Bart wakes up and is like, that's just a crazy dream. The only problem is that fog that turns people inside out.
Yeah, I mean, at least that was like...
Kind of funny.
Yeah. It ended in a big song number.
Yeah, that's right.
Because,
You'd
I
have
mean,
loved
especially at the time, you're expecting Bart and Lisa to get out of that alive, but then that they don't, and then that they don't again. Like, it's actually kind of brilliant.
We have such double standards sometimes.
There was a musical moment in this one with...
There were two.
Oh, was there?
Mm.
I'll let you take the second one.
Okay.
There was New Kid in Town with that montage which had the ice cream as well, and also had Bart picking the flowers, and then
Yeah.
David making the power grid spell out "I love you, Mum." Yeah, That was fine.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of Eagles every now and then.
Yeah.
And the other was Robot Dance by I don't know who.
Oh, dun, 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 dun. Wasn't that in like, yeah.
I just thought that was part of the theme of like another 48
Actually, no,
hours.
Robot Dance is that boom. So I don't know what the hell that was then.
Was it the one from Revenge of the Nerds? Editing Bay.
Yes, it is.
Was it with the violin?
Why don't we ask Editing Bay Elliot Jay?
It was actually Rocket by Herbie Hancock.
Thanks, buddy.
That's a bit where Elliot will cut and come back later. The first time it happened, I was like, what the fuck?
They both turn their heads in the exact same angle.
No, we know where the future is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that part of the ceiling.
No, that's just a waffle that got stuck to the ceiling.
He's just the future. It's different.
I promise not to eat the...
Sacrilegious.
But I really did like, you'll have to go through your father to get through to me. And like not even a split second after.
He doesn't even finish his sentence.
He was already doing it when David started that sentence. Yeah. And it looked really cool as well. Yeah, okay, cool. I think we're good to move on to the next segment,
Absolutely.
which was Survival of the Fattest.
Sinister laugh.
Yeah, what was it? Parenthesis, sinister laugh, parenthesis, and it was like written out on the card as well.
I think this is a parody of an Ice-T movie called Trespass.
Nope.
No, not Trespass. Something else.
That was made
There's a-
much earlier called. It was called The Greatest Game, I think. Was it The Greatest Game?
Everyone start
Something.
Googling. Most Dangerous Game is a 1932 pre-code adaptation of the 1924 short story by Richard Connell. Yeah, concerns a big game hunt on island who hunts humans for sport.
So yeah, it is a parody of the 1932 Survival of the Fattest.
Yeah.
Fittest, fuck.
Do it again.
Survival of the fuckest.
Fit.
What'd you guys think of this segment?
Again, ups and downs.
Mostly down.
Yeah.
They kept bringing
Yeah.
Terry Bradshaw to
Mhm.
commentate what was basically junk.
Yeah, so Terry Bradshaw was a football.
He was a footballer.
He was.
Yep.
Yeah, he grew up to be a footballer, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He started out ping pong ball, but he
Yep.
grew up nice and strong.
Good for him.
So
Eddie
he was
Greens.
like a footballer turned commentator sort of guy.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a famous quarterback for the Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I
in
think
like
so.
the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh,
And now
cool.
he's just like a senile old dude who they bring out for Monday Night Football, and he really is a senile old man.
Oh no.
Yeah,
He's
it's
just
real
loud
bad.
and
He's just punch
famous.
drunk, yeah.
So for Australians, the equivalent is Fatty Vorton, who
yeah, or more, maybe even a Mario Fennick.
I did kind of like some of his commentary. It was like, now conventional wisdom says good fleeing will beat good chasing any day of the week. But I say put your money on the guy with a gun.
That's almost the most American football comment that you can make. It's like, here are two things that are equal, but I say this one statistically.
Yeah, there was a good amount of like a moment of surrealism as well, where like Marge and Lisa are just watching this on TV as well,
Yeah.
and they reference, and there was something weird about the TV guide, must flee TV, and it's like
I did quite
enjoyed
like
that.
that pun was all right for TV Guide. I thought that was okay.
This was a very punderful episode, wasn't it?
I did love the bit where Burns goes, I'll give you a 5-minute head start to run away. And comic book guy stands up and goes, 5 minutes of running? Kill me now. And just gets shot immediately. And then Burns just goes, well, that broke the ice nicely.
Oh, and then the blue-haired lawyer. You know, James is our insight into the law industry. Can someone claim killing people as part of their religion?
Yeah, I assume.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. There we
I've
go.
been doing it for years.
Jesus.
I mean, nothing.
I mean, not
Yeah.
years, decades. Wait, no.
I've said too much.
Quick, join my church, everyone.
But I mean, what kind of motive do you think he has?
Ulterior.
Ulterior.
Yeah.
I really like that line.
See, I reckon, oddly enough, in this episode, or this, whatever we're calling this segment, all the good gags were in the boardroom before the hunt started.
Yeah.
When it became wacky, it kind of became,
Yeah, the hunt was all
True.
whack and not a lot of fun.
yeah, not like anything else.
Well, that was the problem. There wasn't like a vine to grab onto during that section.
I did laugh at you can never kill a Hindu as he shoots a poo and then he turns into a rabbit and then he gets
Immediately.
caught in a rabbit trap and he goes, help me, Jesus.
He immediately switches to Christianity.
Yep, this isn't working out.
And Mo getting caught on the weather vane.
Yeah, he
And
goes,
then-
well, I may as well scratch that lottery ticket. And it's
Which,
like,
yeah. I was like, what's the point?
yeah,
Yeah.
stupid.
He was my least valuable player out of this segment as well, and his timeshare rant at the start, blech.
And the good gag there would have been if his Scratchy did nothing.
Yeah.
That's 'cause, like, yeah,
Well, I
Yeah,
suppose this
scratches
is...
it and it's like, well, that's it. I do have nothing to live for. Bah.
yeah, I guess something. I don't know. We'll just miss out that whole bit.
Yeah, that'd be funny, yeah. If only something would hurry up this awful blech and then wig him on top of him, yeah.
I did like when we find out that Lenny's heaven is just him being asked to go to work by 1,000 angel Carls.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. I do like there's something Something wholesome about their unspoken love.
Yeah, like it sometimes gets a little tacky in the teens
Yeah.
era, but I thought this was fine.
Yeah, when it goes for like overtly covert homosexuality, it gets all confused in itself.
Yeah.
But I think stuff like this where you're like,
It's just a full solid bromance.
yeah, maybe it's
Yeah.
well, I mean, maybe they're gay, but maybe they're just
Just best
really
mate.
love hanging
And
out
he
with
wants
each other.
100 of them when he goes to heaven.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he still wants to go to work for reasons that only he knows.
That's where they hang out.
But yeah, it's always like the quick ones that I think work with Lenny and Carl. Like
Yeah.
when they get into the couples bickering thing, it becomes like, you're dragging this out for that
Yeah,
long. Yeah. Any other notes about this segment?
There's a weird joke. I don't really. Such a very weird tone at the beginning where it's like, oh, why does Mr. Burns get to hunt, but I kill one bird and I have to go to a psychiatrist?
Yeah.
It's like, he still thinks that hobo is a bird. You're like, ha, oh god, that's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a bit weird.
No, this is something about The Simpsons that doesn't age well is their constant hobo humor, and it's like, it's
Also,
not
is that
funny.
just outright saying that Bart killed a homeless man
Oh,
once?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then he's somehow still living at home and thinking it's a bird?
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
And that's perfectly okay.
Halloween Land. Anything can happen, I suppose.
I know it's Halloween land, but yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Also, the sexy ending to this was, this is the playlist you put together for us tonight, Elliot. It's skeletons, strangling, and sexiness. Inappropriate sexiness.
Mm.
I don't like two of those things.
I kind of like the lead-in of, now that's just discussed here. This network will show a dozen gruesome murders, but I bet they cut away before these two begin the tender act of love. Oh, I spoke too soon.
And then you see sort of Marge's dress get unzipped, and then Terry Bradshaw blocks the view, and he's just having a great old time.
This is going into my playbook. Ugh.
Well, now in senility, I hope that's a memory he's retained. Anything else?
It's just lame that the whole thing comes unstuck with Marge, with a pair of frying pans.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think what was even more lame was like, you were out for 18 hours and you didn't call home? That's just like
yeah,
such...
technical naggy woman.
Yeah. She
watched the thing.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
knows.
She
what
knocks him out with cooking implements and then nags about him not calling. It's just like
that's
the
even
most
worse
Yeah,
now.
it was just like meh.
But on the upside, that was an excellent Marge, Elliot. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Elliot's, repertoire of Simpsons characters is fairly decent.
My snake is my best.
Little Bandit.
Oh, that's good too.
I don't know if James Mac has heard James Earl Ralph.
Oh, right. We're going to wait for a Ralph quote.
I don't think we get one in this episode.
Not on this one.
You might have to judge one up because
Yeah.
it's
I
Also-
hated the purple berries. They taste like burning Simba. I thought it was a good joke when Homer's like trying to climb the tree and then he like just
Catapults.
flings it and then it's like,
Skate shooting.
yeah, clay pigeons pull.
I kind of thought that was going to be they got flung out of the park and to safety, and he had like inadvertently helped people, but then made himself the last remaining target.
No,
Oh, that
that'd
would
be
have been a twist, yeah.
But then the anal corner came in, and they
Yeah,
shut up, they all got shot and fell straight down. They would continue on their trajectory.
Ah, that's true.
It's true, but it's a nice indicator of who's dead now.
Well, everyone, because even Mo landed on the
Yeah,
weather
we know.
vane.
And one more note that I've got, I hated the line when they're watching the Burns killing everyone on TV. Oh, this is more violent than the Hip Hop Image Awards. Like, just fuck you so much. That is horrible.
Yeah. They do that a lot. I feel like they do that a lot.
Yeah.
I've always had an issue with The Simpsons where they try and be apolitical, but then they display their political leanings
Yeah.
through these, like, what they think are witty gags about obvious referential humor, but they're not. They're not obvious. And it just it tells me that we're listening to, like, 40-something-year-old white dudes
Well,
kind
that's
of
it. And as
take
time,
pot shots.
yeah,
So-
and as time goes on, like when they are making these jokes about sexism and other cultures and stuff, it does feel even worse when there's like it's mostly 40-year-old white dudes, like you said.
Yeah.
And our last segment, I've grown a costume on your face. I like that pun.
Yeah.
I do like it now you said it out loud.
Yeah. It says what the segment is and makes a great pun at the same time. What'd you think otherwise?
I think this was my favorite bit. I think it's liked watching all the characters turned into costumes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Best part.
Yeah, that's the thing. My only problem with it is that it is almost just a list of their characters and their costumes when you break it down, but also
But it's
this is
just
a
fun.
really charming segment.
Yeah, I think the ending of it's kind of a bit pointless.
Yeah, that's going to be my big problem on this one.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think you're right. The story beyond them turning into their weird characters is a bit meh, but them turning into stuff is excellent. Also, I really like Blackula.
Oh, I see. Because I'm black and I'm Dracula, I have to be Blackula. My wife said, don't go as Dracula. I said, Bernice, we live in the 21st century.
Oh, Hibbert. Wait another 13 years.
It goes backwards somehow.
somehow. Yeah, but I thought there were like a lot of great pairings of characters and costumes, like Apu D2. I mean, come on.
That was
I like
excellent.
everybody's like, I could go either way. Beep, boop, beep.
That was amazing.
Yeah, again, the ending just turns into the characters, some want to be this, some others don't. And it feels like, again, that's just an excuse for them to list the characters in costumes. But, like, it does lead to good gags.
Yeah, like Mole Man is just a mole. He's like, oh, this isn't fair. I wasn't in a costume.
I love that Quimby is the hamburger man from Happy Meals. That's awesome.
I am not a Happy Meal.
Yep, getting
That was a
eaten by
terrible line.
dogs.
Oh, yeah, and skeleton playlist. Marge, going half skeleton.
Yep.
Pair this with Terror of Tiny Toon when Bart and the piranhas,
My rib cage is not a scratching post.
And very appropriate that Lisa becomes Albert Einstein as well.
Well, yeah, it feels like a costume she would actually wear, and
And then speaking German for a while.
Yeah, and Yardley Smith did a good job of the German inflection on Lisa's character. Yeah.
I thought the disco stew costume / death was stupid.
Oh, I really liked that.
Did you just have an arrow through the head and then died by rhyming disco stew should have gone as Betty Boo or something?
Marilyn McCoo. Let's look that up.
I will only pay that if she died by an arrow to the head.
Well, I do like the traditional gag kind of lazy costume with the arrow through the head, and that's just
He's the one that dies.
Yeah.
Oh, she is a co-member of the Fifth Dimension, which was like a band in the 60s. One of their big hits was a medley of Aquarius Let the Sun Shine In from the musical Hair.
How did she die?
She's still alive.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
As of 2018, she's age 75 and staying alive.
From the fifth dimension.
And an actress and a musician in her own right. Oh, cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations, lady I've never
Good
heard
on
of.
you, Marilyn McCoo.
Hey.
Your Wikipedia page will do more than I will ever.
Yeah, I do really like Nelson being, Nelson's a raccoon. I'm not a raccoon. I'm the Lone Ranger. And then gets turned into a raccoon. He's just like, come on.
And I like that, his mask was made out of axle grease.
Yeah.
And his, what was the horse's name?
Silver.
Silver. That's from, Lone
Hi-Ho Silver. That's Lone Ranger.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. I'm learning something. Yeah, it was just a toilet brush. Oh, poor Nelson.
Yeah.
Can we mention again the Jared from Subway bit?
Oh,
Yes.
Do we have to?
poor Wiggum.
Yes.
Poor
Again,
I
Wiggum.
think we do.
it's not their fault. No one knew.
No one knew, but I suppose it's the danger of making references, especially about sexual ambiguity.
It's so weird that, that's the point they hit. Because they went, I'm Jared from Subway, who's lost some weight, but I'm still fat. And that was kind of like, that's weird. And then he's like, and I'm sexually ambiguous.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, wow. That's, they've obviously, maybe they knew too much.
How long's he in prison for? 80 years? His whole life, basically. And the counts were of possessing an item, right? A picture or something.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But,
that's a weird thing sometimes. You see on the internet, this person, I don't know, molested 5 kids, but they're only getting 2 years. But then you look at it, they actually weren't convicted on that. They were just charged. But it's all about what you can actually get the conviction for.
Well, it's like that conversation he had with the reporter at a high school when he was trying to say, he was telling her openly how much he liked young girls and how he tries to get them to come back to his house and stuff. And she's a reporter, one who's just interviewed him, and they're standing in front of the school. You're like, dude, I messed up.
Feel like I need to call someone.
What was the outcome there, Big E?
There's a lot to go through here, but
How long's he in prison? Does it say that?
yeah, his earliest possible release date is 2029. Pending parole
right.
hearing.
appeals
Yeah.
and yada.
Yeah.
Does it say what his sentence was?
The level of pervasion and lawlessness exhibited by Mr. Fogel is extreme, Pratt said. Wow.
I assume it was Chris Pratt.
Star-Lord just turns up and he's like, stop. The raccoon runs in.
This level of lawlessness cannot stand.
Yeah.
All rise to the Honourable Star-Lord.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Yeah,
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
totally.
Judge Star-Lord.
Dun-dun,
I
dun.
am the law.
Beats Judge
Okay.
Judy.
Yeah.
She's such a dickhead.
Star-Lord.
He's so rich.
Any other notes from this section?
Willie the bug spray trying to kill.
I do like, because I don't think we see Willie before he's become bug spray. So it's like the implication he just came as bug spray.
Yeah, that's very weird. I do like Headless Homer trying to drink beer and it just leaks out his neck, and then he sucks it back up again off the couch, but it leaks through his neck again.
I thought that once would have been sufficient, but it went
I
like
could
4
get,
times.
I could give him twice.
Yeah.
That'd be enough. Because it's
4
no
was like,
tiny little greyhound dogs eating chips out of his hand.
No, that was fantastic.
That's excellent. But this was not excellent.
I like, you shall become the guise you don. I'm turning you into your costumes. What, are you going to talk about it? Are you going to do it?
Yeah, speak English, dumbass.
Just Homer provoking the doomed situation. Like,
Yeah.
I also quite like Grandpa as he's being
Yeah.
carried away to safety by Blackula. Yeah, suck out the poison.
I guess the ominous, off we go to the Gorilla Museum.
The Gorilla Hospital.
Gorilla Hospital. He's actually really well animated, the way his wings kind of
Yeah.
come out of
Yeah.
his cape. It
That was
looks
the
sick.
creepiest, most horrible part of the episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
that
like
one
lit and he's got
rendering.
that kind of pale.
Yeah, it was really good.
well, that's the thing. All the character models looked really good. And I like, Skinner going as G.I. Joe. There's nothing wrong with his... Oh, looks down at his pants.
I was about to say, the viewers can't see you miming opening your pants.
Yeah.
And nor do they want
Mr.
to.
Burns can't hear you winking.
Audio medium, Elliot. Flanders being like, oh, this bee has an healthy attraction to me.
I'm already a flower. Stop trying to give me flowers.
I don't know, that's a problem in romance. If you're already a flower,
What do you get them?
chocolate? He's a flower.
Hey, we were a very nice scene where someone gives flowers to a florist.
Yeah, but
Dave Plus One, available now on YouTube and DavePlus1.com. More advertising.
don't look for me now at Twitter because I've stopped posting that shit.
Or on Instagram.
Yeah, I've also stopped that as well.
Yeah, it's mostly just personal now.
It's just me. Get out of my life.
Any other notes?
Right at the end, when they're kind of doing the piece to camera, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed it as much as the Koreans who animated it did. Which I thought was, I don't know, self-referential, trying to be funny, but also just showing how lazy and un-American they now are. I don't
I
know.
feel it comes off as depressing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not as depressing as that Banksy intro.
Yeah, that's right.
There's one where they go to like the animation studio and it's like they're making the DVDs and the way they get the hole in is they smack it on top of a anorexic unicorn's head. And it's all incredibly just depressing and warped.
That's fucking weird.
And Banksy storyboarded that.
I don't mind when they take shots at Fox and the
Yeah.
they do that quite well. I like it.
But in that last wrap-up session as well, we got another guest star from this episode, Dennis Rodman.
Weird.
I could believe he actually was working off a speeding ticket because it's just so random and out of nowhere and not fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe that there isn't already a Dennis Rodman giant pacifier as something you could get. It seems like a novelty gift for all the family.
It's the stretch goal. We have to abolish adult illiteracy first.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Did they really care about that? Was that
No,
a
because
joke?
they were like, why don't you donate a kid's book or something?
Was it a gag? Yeah.
I think this is like a trend throughout this episode. It's just bailing out at the ending and just filling it with nonsense.
Yeah, it's like, okay, how do we finish this? Adult illiteracy?
Yeah.
Bingo.
How other ways to end that little bit, right? So we've discovered that Maggie is a witch and could undo all of what's been done.
Mm-hmm.
I think the pacifiers gag was enough, and if it just flew off into the Bewitched end title
Yeah,
credits,
I think that'd be fine.
that would be,
That'd be
yeah.
Yeah.
It still beats being Mo.
Yeah, that was fine. And I would have definitely had Maggie come up and like lick Homer's pacifier head and then shoot off in a thing of sparkles.
Yeah.
They just didn't have to go that way. They just took it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Just for no reason.
And I've got to say, my other problem with this segment is that, Lisa figures out Maggie's a witch, she can fix this, and then just Milhouse busting in. By the way, him as a bulldozer was a really good character model, but somehow the whole town had heard the solution to the problem, and then they just bust into the wall and to give that, that was super clunky to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like that Milhouse wants to stay as a bulldozer because he can help pull horses out of the mud.
And girls will like him.
And girls will like, oh, Milhouse,
Chicks will dig
sometimes
you.
you're just a little bit too close.
Yeah, Bob the Builder, he didn't get much, but, all of his cars and equipment, they scored big.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Yeah.
I don't know what
And
we're talking about
then-
anymore.
Yeah.
I thought I started that sentence and then,
Anything else you want to mention about this segment?
no, that's all I got.
Burn her gift certificate.
Yeah, where was Mel when he was turned into Spider-Man? That would have been
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
They missed a good shot there.
Maybe that's too...
Especially that they really announced that, well, there's Mel as Spider-Man.
Yeah. Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys think about the horror of this Treehouse of?
It wasn't really any, was there?
Yeah, artificial intelligence, not a horror.
It's one of the fattest, I guess.
I
Suppose.
Well,
It's not really being... Well, you never sold the tension of the situation.
Yeah.
It's
and
just
a lot
the
of people
laughs
got
of the-
killed,
yeah.
really, isn't it? Yeah, it's wacky killings.
Do you know what I think's missing from this episode?
Mhm.
The music. Like any of the Treehouse of Horror, like doo-doo-doo-doo. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
sound
true.
where they
Bit
kind
of-
of
bit of
spookify
theremin.
a bit of the... Yeah.
Yeah, even for the end segment, it wasn't spooky, and it should have been a bit spookier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the parody elements? So the two that were going for it, obviously, we don't know
Yeah.
the most dangerous game. Unless you actually saw it.
The premise.
No. I just know the premise, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was probably the weakest one of what could have been the most horrorful version.
Yeah, they pushed some bit more suspense on it. Instead, it was just whackness.
Yeah, like, I think Artificial Intelligence did a good job of taking the premise and then just sort of Simpsonsizing it, but, you know, it was still filled with mixed material.
Yeah, I don't think it really, apart from a robot comes to the Simpsons house.
Yeah, other than the beginning, which is a parody, fairly one-to-one.
Yeah.
The rest of it, not so much.
Did Haley Joel Osment fall out of a window at the beginning of that?
No, but their son did. I don't know if he fell out of a window, but he was in a coma.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he does wake up and they have a rivalry.
No, I don't remember that part at all.
No, that's right, and he kicks him out, and then Haley Joel Osment goes to, like, the robot battling arena. Fuck, that scene's cool. Anyway.
Watch the shiny.
Did this feel like a Treehouse of Horror?
Well, it didn't have the horror element, but I suppose it had stories that were different.
Yeah, it was more Treehouse of Fantasy.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more. So, yeah, liking the horror, it's hard to say yes, but...
Yeah,
I think it was just a bad version.
Yeah,
I've got to say that having forayed into some of the modern episodes with you guys, if you tone down the fantasy a little bit, these could be like subplots to very modern episodes where Bart puts on metal robot equipment and blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, it's not that far away from what could be an episode.
Yeah, nothing's really that fantastic.
Yeah.
but yes or no, would you watch this one again?
No.
I would watch Kang and Kodos.
Yeah.
Is that it? Kang and Kodos? I'd watch them just talk about baseball for 20 minutes. That'd be pretty good.
BT?
Parts. I watched the beginning, I'd watch the end, then I watch a mutant peacock.
Yeah.
That's more or less it.
This is where stem cell research led us?
Yeah. Where are our mutant peacocks? We just got the stupid normal ones.
Yeah, I feel like I'd only watch this in the context of a Treehouse marathon, and yeah, this might be the one that, like, I'm kind of getting up and doing other things.
Yeah, this is really the one where you go and order pizza on.
Yes. Yeah. Start paying attention to Uber Eats. Please sponsor us. Let's rank this thing. It's time for Phil to kick it off.
I think I'm going to hardline bronze this one. It's not particularly wrong, but it's just a little bit boring. I don't think it's very Treehouse of Horror-ish. And frankly, if it wasn't for the Kronos and Kang and Kronos, whichever they are,
Kodos is the one that you voted for.
Yep.
I voted for both of them. Apart from that, it'd be a really unremarkable episode, I think. So, yeah, bronzing.
BT?
I came in feeling a lot more positive about this one, and then I'm like, actually, no, I'm not. I feel like I'm on a lowish bronze. I'm not meh enough on it to want to call it participant, but I could, but I just don't quite. I had enough of a good time.
Yep. James?
Participant.
Whoa, look out. Yep,
Where's
not
some
watching
lightning?
it again.
Never.
Thought it was meh.
I was just not stoked at all with that.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, I absolutely get the participant ranking.
Non-heinous.
But, you know, there's enough in here that I like that I feel like I'd revisit it. I still think it was, you know, good, okay-ish. Like,
Okay is my best word for
I
it.
feel like there was just enough, a little bit more that I liked that I hated, even though I do have my problems. But overall, this will be a dull bronze, which, you know, I'm glad there was a participant in there. This will be the first Treehouse of Horror to be considered a dull bronze. This will be joining other such dull bronzes as Sky Police,
Oh, fuck.
when Police Chief Wiggum gets a jetpack and kills a bunch of people, but then the episode's not actually even about that. This will also...
What?
I know.
Yeah, it's a weird fucking intro.
Homer is where the art isn't, where they do an episode of Manicheck, but with The Simpsons. What's Manicheck? I don't fucking know.
That was because it wasn't a bad episode, but it wasn't The Simpsons. That was such a weird one.
Yeah. But it was still kind of good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I love you guys like, this was terrible, but it's pretty good. I hated it. I'll watch it again.
Well, like, also
I think they'll watch anything.
To Surveil with Love, which is another dull bronze, which has an awesome A story, but a really fucking crap sexist B story.
Oh.
What was the B?
what was
it's
the B
one
story?
with Lisa?
Where, everyone's ragging on Lisa because
Yeah.
she's blonde, and then she dyes her hair, and everyone respects her. All, like, yeah.
Oh. Is there any more subtext beyond that?
No,
Oh.
it's not even subtext. It's just fucking superliminal.
Yeah.
Gross text.
All right, guys, that'll do it for the teens era. Now let's go back to the classic. We are going to go to Treehouse of Horror 3 from season 4. This is a good one, guys. Yeah, let's just go do it. Let's get going. Let's go.
How much Twilight Zone is
So
involved?
excited.
A lot. It's a Treehouse of Horror from the
Hurrah!
classic era. And we are back, and we just watched our classic and final episode for the evening, which was Season 4, Episode 5, Treehouse of Horror III, aka 3. First released in October of 92, it was directed by Carlos Baeza, and each segment was written by a different person, so as we go through, I'll mention them then. Guys, what'd you think?
Great stuff.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Well done, Carlos.
Yeah, man, just...
And 3 writers whose names we don't yet know.
Yeah, not yet.
They will be revealed in the future.
One at a time, each more devilish than the last.
I see.
Each segment actually had 2 writers. What a twist!
Ooh, this show is full of twists.
This was fantastic. This is Treehouse of Horror stuff.
Mm.
This might be the quintessential one for me.
Honestly, it had horror, it had parody. Like, I feel like this is summarizing up everything we do love about Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely. And there's like so many little gags in this that are all like they work in the story they're being told. Like they're not outside like a Family Guy throwaway gag. But there's just so many like Abe Simpson in this has about 12 cracking good lines.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't he just?
And I was just like, I forgot how great Grandpa could be, but it just doesn't occur anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, starting out, I think we'll sort of talk about the wraparound segments with sort of each thing that it's associated with.
Yeah, because this is something that's definitely missing from the latter episodes we watched, which is like an overarching, something that holds all the 3 stories together.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's set in the Halloween party at the Simpsons house. Yeah, which leads to a lot of good fun. But before that, we have the amazing Homer doing the warning at the top
Alfred
of the...
Hitchcock presents moment.
Yeah.
Good evening. See, this was great because in the first 2 Treehouse of Horrors, it was Marge.
Yeah.
So I like that by contrast, this was Homer like, all right, there are some crybabies.
Mostly religious types.
Mostly Christian types. That was a good call out.
So yeah, the other thing about this opening segment as well is, come on, I dare you to turn off the TV.
You just call everybody chicken.
No, swear on this Bible.
That's not a Bible, it's a book of carpet
But
samples.
that's after the TV's been turned off on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Because-
You know,
yeah, it's
save cost on animation
Yeah.
and also have a good bit.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, and I-
fuzzy.
And I said to Joe Mac at the time, is like, I missed that Homer who would be like, declare something, be told it's something completely opposite to what it was, and then have like a delicious resolve to
Just
it. Like,
enjoyed it.
No.
Enjoyed it anyways.
Incapacitating.
Sacrilegious.
Yep.
matrimonial.
So yeah, starting out with the Simpsons Halloween party.
Oh, I love that Homer comes down the stairs going, "Embrace thee, O Caesar!" and
All is glory.
yeah, and a small nail snags his toga, and he's just standing there in his underpants in front of all the children. Like
Yep.
that's the first second in.
But I mean, this is back when Homer's foibles and mistakes were of a human scale.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, he fell into a wood chipper. Oh, it was just stuff like you could imagine your, like a dad, like a silly dad doing.
Yeah.
And this is back when Homer was kind of lovable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like unfortunate things happen to him. He's not the most unfortunately mental
When
person.
when he's more the golden retriever.
Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
not malicious. There's no malice in him.
Yeah.
No, that's right. He got a sheet and he's like, I can make a costume out of this. And I got
Make
bloody...
a grand entrance for the kids. And
Or when he ruins their game by eating the food halfway through.
he's like, well,
then his
it was an
explanation-
evil game.
That's right. He's got a well-meaning explanation.
Oh, actually, we had an accidental playlist with the last episode as well, with Martin dressed up as some sort of fairy.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one, he was Calliope.
Calliope, wasn't it?
Calliope.
I think that's the same one that he was in the last one as well.
No, he was
was-
Oberon.
Yes.
Ah, was he? Ah, my bad.
He knows his fairies.
All right, I will back away from
But he
the
keeps
fairy
getting
index.
punched or sprayed.
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
He
do like
deserved
that
it.
Bart is dressed as a droog from Clockwork
Yep.
Orange. There's a reference I didn't get for many years.
And speaks in a Cockney accent.
Yeah.
He affected the accent as
Yeah.
well. Like, good on Nancy Cartwright there.
totally.
All right, so going into the first section, which was Clown Without Pity. Thoughts?
Always good to start with a Twilight Zone ripoff.
Yeah. So, do you remember what the Twilight Zone, what they're referencing?
Season 5, and I believe
Holy
it's called
shit.
Living Doll.
All right,
Wow.
so it is a doll that they're
Yeah.
taking off as well.
Yeah, and the bit where he wraps it in his sack full of socks. Bingo. Yep.
Oh, really?
hmm
Interesting.
Oh.
Into a bottomless pit.
I haven't actually seen it. I just know about it.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, was another man also throwing away naked pictures of Whoopi Goldberg?
What the?
Yeah. That's a weird joke.
I like it because it's so obscure, but also you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want those.
But I just like how Homer goes, goodbye, Dolly.
Yeah. Arrivederci, Vito.
Yeah, the bottomless pit throwing things into a void playlist.
They just have
Yeah,
a bottomless pit in this town. And people know about it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I loved when Homer realized he hasn't got Bart a present. He's like, don't worry, son, I didn't get you a present. But like, he doesn't even cover it.
Yeah.
He doesn't even do anything.
He just says it in like he says it in a covering voice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
apparently that's
But
not
I
it.
promise
admits
I
to
will
it.
get you one now.
He said, don't worry, son. I forgot to get you a present. But I'm getting one now. And then runs off.
Brilliant.
But he says, but I swear on my father's grave. And I was like,
Hey.
Yeah, actually, there's a joke that I'm not that down with Abe and the sort of got the money from the government. I don't need it, but if they miss one pay, I don't know. It just didn't.
yeah, I think
That's that subtle political stuff they drop in.
Mm.
They're
Yeah.
having a go at, Social Security.
Yeah.
That's the jab, is that people are whingy, they want their money. I don't get down with it. I don't like it.
No.
I wonder if that's more of if that's like a 90s, like a higher social standing. Like people were worried about old people getting money for nothing, and that was a thing that was
No.
social at the time, or if it's just them being
I think he's just a mad
non-communist.
Republican who hates anyone getting money from the government.
Or it could even
Yeah.
be a jab at Republicans of them going, look what they think people are doing.
Yeah.
I don't think they were that deep.
No,
at
I
the time,
don't think so either.
Yeah.
But it's entirely possible that,
Yeah.
we maybe lack the context of the era.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there is an underlying fear of socialism in America where,
Which is weird.
yeah, it's just like, it's not about people not being able to pick up from, pull up their socks and tighten their bootstraps. It's more that you're helping out people when they're fucked and need help.
Yeah.
So they can have a roof and eat.
Yeah.
It's like universal health care. That
dare
sounds socialist. It's like,
Yeah.
but less people will die. So good?
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, it's like health is not a privilege, Like,
And Americans spend more per person on healthcare than any other country on the planet.
Yeah.
And their health outcomes are terrible.
they just do it
Like,
very badly.
It's
Yeah.
economically, it makes no sense for them. It's just, it's bad top to bottom. But if you try and tell them that,
Like,
you're,
oh, no, that's socialism.
you're a commie. Yeah.
It's like, it's like, what is so bad about it that you're this terrified of it?
Also, like the army is kind of socialist anyhow. It's a giant arm of the military controlled by the government. It's like that's the definition of a socialist propulsion. But no, they're all fine with that.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
Government spending's okay if it's on bombs.
yeah,
Yeah.
or nuclear.
By the way,
Pronounced-
hello, our majority American listeners. Go out and vote on November. God damn it.
Get yourself some universal healthcare. It's pretty sweet, guys.
Yeah.
I saw a doctor last week. Cost me nothing.
Yeah.
Had a scan this week. Cost me very little.
I've been diabetic since I was 12, and I've not once worried about how I'd pay for the medication.
Yeah.
Now that's the real horror story.
I can't believe I'm paying for your medication.
I can't
God
believe I'm
damn it.
paying. I'm paying to keep my own brother alive. You take a tiny bit of my paycheck every day, you bastard.
And you'll never even notice. It's so minuscule.
Beach just taking a
Foiled
shot of
again.
insulin. Look, I don't even need this shot.
I'm not even hungry.
I need to eat now.
Yeah,
I could die.
very quickly.
So other things that you liked from this section?
I mean,
Let's not dance around it anymore.
your one-stop evil shop.
Yeah, the House of Evil.
I was gonna say I love that Gremlins parody where they kind of goes to the weird spooky shop
Yeah.
and
Is that what it is?
yeah, like an ancient Chinese guy
Oh,
sells
of
him a mysterious
course.
object and then goes, but it's cursed. But it comes with a free frogget. But the frogget is cursed.
That's good. That's
But you
bad.
get your choice of topping.
That's good.
The toppings contain potassium benzoate.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Can I go now?
That is like a Simpsons ruined my brain moment.
Yeah.
I know, any awkward situation. Can I go now? Yeah, Frogurt guy. It hasn't come out yet, but we did an episode of Worst Episode
Yeah.
Ever recently where we recited a Simpsons shit posting of that. You get a free tinny.
That's mad.
The tinny is VB.
That's fucked.
Yeah,
That's
but
brilliant.
Frogurt guy is just one of the big bases for Simpsons shit posting.
Oh, yeah.
Like one of my favorites is Frogurt do 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 do. Kirsty.
I didn't realize it had such media appeal.
Yeah. You guys got to get on the Simpsons shit posting. It's a lot of fun.
I probably won't.
All right.
I wouldn't. Where would I find it?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
At Rock Bottom Facebook group.
Or Instagram. Or
Yeah. So yeah, the evil Krusty doll as well.
Evil. Evil.
Grandpa, you said that about all the presents.
Just wanted attention. Seriously, I think you guys are right. Grandpa's like MVP.
Yeah.
Oh, he had a great episode, which is really weird to say, but yeah, he
Yeah.
had so many good laughs. I love when Homer comes back from getting the doll. Yeah, they're playing Pin the Tail on a Donkey, and he just opens the door into Millhouse into the wall, and then it's never mentioned again. He
No,
just disappears.
Slam.
And actually, speaking of our last episode as well, where we did the Skinner and Krabappel thing, Millhouse also is playing Pin the Tail on the Donkey then before he succumbs to oyster poisoning. So, yeah, put this in the Millhouse fucks up at Pin the Tail and Donkey playlist.
Surprisingly specific, yet it comes up a lot.
Actually, he doesn't fuck up, he gets fucked over.
Yeah, true.
From a Pin the Tail Donkey win.
It's still weird.
And Springfield's air is now only dangerous to children and the elderly.
Yeah. I have a weird nostalgia for that because that line was in the Simpsons Virtual Cartoon Maker video game. I don't know if you guys remember that, but you could
No.
they had like limited animations and sound bites that you could make your own Simpsons cartoon with.
That sounds
Nice.
excellent.
Yeah.
What I quite liked about these episodes is that this was from a time when there was enough non-horror spooky moments in the episode for it to feel like,
That when the moments did come up, they felt all the more impactful.
and it wasn't just pointing at horror and pointing at parody constantly.
The simplicity of the Krusty Doll is going, I'm Krusty the Clown and I don't like you. Yeah. It's like,
I'm gonna kill you.
But then it makes Homer pull his little cord so he can keep being evil. And Homer helps him.
That's an inconsistency though, because before it was like, I'm gonna kill you. Didn't need to pull the string that time.
still had some left from when he pulled it the first time.
Ah.
And then he was walking.
Yeah,
At that point,
walking
he was
takes
moving.
more string pulls.
Oh, that's actually, yeah. And then he had enough energy from the last one to like point and like help a clown out.
I do love Bart's line of saying, I'd say the pressure's finally got to him, but what pressure?
Yeah, and there's just that great shot of Homer pointing at the doll and it just starts at his hand and pans forward. So it's the doll on the couch like, that's good.
Yeah.
The simple little, intensity building kind of moment.
Yeah.
Yep. Any other notes from this segment?
You think your dirty socks can stop me? Well, they are making me dizzy. Yep.
Yeah.
The doll's trying to kill me and the toaster's been laughing at me.
I love that bit.
As
I don't
Krusty
remember
jams
that
his
at
face.
all,
Yeah.
ever. The toast is
My
laughing
older
at
brother
me.
used to yell that as he ran past me. Like he would just scream it at me and run off. So that's burned in my brain.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I like, my balloony has a first name, it's H-O-M-E-R. My balloony has a second name, it's H-O-M-E-R. And then just,
Oh, Cured Meat playlist as
Yeah,
well.
told you.
and then I love the animation of Homer running naked through the house past Patty and Selma, and Selma just going, well, there's the last dregs of my heterosexuality.
The last lingering thread of my heterosexuality.
Wow, that's a hell of a voice you've done there.
Told you.
That's excellent.
It comes from all my death metal training.
You could be a 45-year-old woman from The Simpsons.
Or a death metal vocalist, but
Yeah, death
Hey,
metal
mine's
vocalist
more
called
famous.
like the Spinsters or something.
yeah. But I'd love that. Yeah, Julie Kavanaugh retires. They have a big worldwide search to find the new Marge, and then they pick me. Oh, Homer.
If that happens, that needs to be a documentary.
Yeah.
Marge Idol.
The man who would be Marge.
Yeah.
Well, the man who
The
would be
man who
Selma.
Marge. The problem with Marge.
Just a photo of Elliot.
She's going, I
right
didn't
here.
mean to do anything.
Oh,
The
you
hair's
just,
the wrong way.
Yeah, you just stand on your head and be like, well, it kind of looks like.
Another common thing that The Simpsons used to do in the classic era was have please hold music jokes.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's complaining about the clown. Yeah. Everyone loves a clown, so why don't you? I love that's the complaint department for the clown doll hotline.
Oh, yeah. It's
Here's
like
the
when he calls
problem.
the insane asylum, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I just love that the solution to their problem was just the wrong switch on the doll.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
built an evil switch into it.
Just in case.
Like it might be needed sometime.
But I like that that's like such a simple, easy way of getting out of that hole. Like it explains the doll, it gets out of Homer being almost killed all the time, and then they had that little wrap up where he's Homer's slave. Like
Yeah.
I feel like from the one we just saw, it had cut to someone would wake up.
Yeah.
They'd realised that they've been dreaming that they've been a dog the whole time, and then everyone's head filled with confetti and they explode. And you'd be like, what the fuck was that? But this
Yeah.
was just like two little
in
story
the same
points.
universe, even if it was very quick and convenient, but you get a chuckle out of just how simplistically stupid it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
it kind of really works with it.
I thought there was actually a good theme running with this in the second segment where they both end on like lovely endings.
And a love heart that zooms in.
Yeah, good old love
Yeah,
heart.
like
Like
a
a love
little-
heart wipe.
Yeah. I did know. I actually wrote that and I thought that was interesting that they ended it with a touching moment and sweet music. It
Yeah.
wasn't horror music. It was, yeah.
No, it's just, nice contrast
Like
for the
Love Boat
Halloween.
music.
I mean, his wife's head did come off, so it's kind of horror-ish.
Let me
She
get
put
that
it back
for you.
on.
Yeah, put it back on. She's fine.
Yeah, they seem to have a good relationship.
I think they'll make it.
We're gonna make it after all.
Um, I have a Jordan Zainal corner.
Yeah,
So when Krusty is Homer's slave and he's bringing him all the took the dog for a walk, whatever, the painting behind him is not the sailboat. It's like a forest or some shit with a lake. But when they zoom into Homer, you can see the corner of the painting is the sailboat, but when they zoom back out, it isn't.
Oh, wow.
Fuck
that's
you,
weird.
I fucking noticed.
Well
That's
done.
bizarre. How do they get that wrong?
I know,
Hey,
right?
what's normally there? A sailboat? That's one of those places with all the trees, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Das Saarboten, which means small forest of pretty trees.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have minded if it was like consistent. But,
Yeah, if it was
like,
just a weird random change.
But yeah, dogs like to bury old junk. Yeah, you stupid idiot. Even though he's set to good, Homer still pushes his goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like this is something that Homer would say as well. He's like half-mindedly saying, yeah, dog's burying old junk, rather than like not even revealing that that's like, oh, I'm talking about you.
Yeah. All right, so my only other note from this section was, ew, dog water.
Yeah, of all his problems right now, of having a doll try to kill him, it's dog water.
And I do love the animation of when the guy opens the door to come and fix the doll. Krusty's like got his foot either side of his top and bottom teeth, and he's just pulling his tongue out of his head. Like it looks, you go, what kind of a damage could a doll do to you, really? But that looks like it would really hurt.
Found it.
Yeah. I do really like in like Child's Play movies where Chucky's just on someone's back and they're acting like he has any kind of weight or control over them. It's like, just throw him.
Just fall backwards.
Like if he's got a knife, sure, but he doesn't right now.
All right, so the next section starts out with Homer telling his spooky story.
And his wife came through the door. Remember I said she was dead?
Yeah.
And she hit him with a golf club.
And
Remember he went golfing all the time and it really bugged her. She said bowling.
yeah, haven't we all been there when
And then some other great Grandpa MVP lines of, Homer, I've coughed up scarier things than that.
Why don't you tell us sorry? You've led an interesting life.
That's a line, you know it. But I've seen a lot of movies.
What do you think he said, Phil?
I've seen a lot of boobies.
That is an interesting line.
Yeah, that's the lead into a great story.
Yeah.
King Homer, the King Kong parody, all in black and white. What'd you guys love about it?
This has one of my all-time favorite Mr. Burns bits, where he
Oh,
goes
what
to
would that
throw
be?
the gas grenade, and it just falls at his feet, and it cuts to Homer kind of coming through the trees, like a shot-for-shot recreation. Just, I was strolling through the gas one day.
Yeah, man. This has got some of my favorite musical moments of any Treehouse of Horror. Like when he busts in on Shirley Temple. It's a sweet trip to the candy shop where buns. Ah!
I do like he dances to it for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
It's a good song. I might eat her.
when Smithers says, "Women and semen don't mix, sir."
We all know what you think.
That
so
is
good.
such a sly.
I reckon
man.
I missed that.
I didn't
the
get that,
first
yeah.
100 times.
Totally.
Oh,
It's
God,
only like
no.
the last year I've been like,
Smithers is gay. Yeah. He doesn't like semen and women. What? And I liked Mr. Burns. They arrive at King Kong Island, and Marge says, "Oh, am I coming aboard?" And Mr. Burns goes, "Of course, we wouldn't dream of going aboard without the bait. I mean, bathing beauty. Yes, I've covered that up."
Again, Simpsons ruined my brain. Yeah, I've covered that up pretty well.
I was like, Candy Apple Island. What's on Candy Apple Island? Apes, but then it does
So
speak.
big.
That reminds me of
Oh,
we're going to send you to Monster Island. Don't worry, it's just a name.
I thought you said it's just a name.
What do you mean? It's Monster Island. It's actually a peninsula.
It's like genius level stupid genius.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Well,
So is the line, oh my God, look at the size of that platform.
Barney as well fucking kicked ass in this segment. I said one.
Just kicking King Kong's foot.
And I like how, King Homer, like, his weird discrimination of who he eats and who he
Yeah,
doesn't.
he doesn't even notice him. He just,
Yeah. But no, like, ate the reporter, ate Shirley Temple, spared Marge and Barney.
he ate Lenny.
He ate Lenny. Hey, quit eating me.
Nice shot, Carl.
And then
He shoots him in the arm.
So another unintended NFL reference was in this episode. Did you NFL heads pick it up?
I did not.
So when they arrive at Apple, I almost said Candy Apple Island.
Candy Apple Island, that's where we go.
to get slightly smaller monkeys.
And don't you know?
I thought you hated musical episodes.
You like
I
singing.
like being musical.
Okay.
I hate listening to musical episodes.
When your life is a musical, yeah, you don't want to have musicals enter for your
I want
entertainment.
to know about the football reference. What was the football reference?
Oh, yeah, getting back to the football reference. So when the natives sort of see Burns and crew arrive, they go, Mosi Tutupu, Mosi Tutupu. You know, they wouldn't dream of sacrificing a blue-haired woman. Mosi Tutupu was actually a football player. He was
Really?
a running back for the New England Patriots and the LA Rams from 1978 to 1991.
Oh, those were the
Wow.
best years of the NFL.
Well, especially if you're
And they were the years I watched the most football.
but maybe not if you were in the Patriots team or the Rams.
Mousy Tutupu. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a cool reference.
Very weird.
It's, just buried in there. For Australians, it'd be like if they said, Fui Fui Moi Moi.
It would be.
That is a great name.
Yeah. That's the only football player I remember.
Because it sounds like a delicious cocktail.
Also,
Sorry,
hey
yeah.
monkey, you want a peanut? I said one. Then he starts kicking his foot, even though he's seen him eat a human.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. You took my peanuts.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Hey,
And I only really started counting the deaths in this segment after Lenny got eaten. But I heard 6 people eaten by King Homer.
that's the thing. I was most of the way through this one. I'm like, this one's not really all horror. I'm like, he has eaten a bunch of people.
Yeah, a lot of people,
Yeah.
I do like the report. He just steps on. Come on, what's he going to do? Break free and run amok in downtown Springfield?
And gorillas are vegetarians. Doesn't make sense.
Is that a fact?
I think are they omnivores?
Nah.
They're just vegetarians.
I think
Just
they'll
with
eat
giant
some-
teeth.
Maybe he was a vegetarian on his island, but once all the people sort of started invading, he was eating them as self-defense. And that's why he's all tired and fatigued, because he hasn't been eating the vegetables and
He
whatever.
could have been
natives do.
he could have been eating that giant dinosaur he's fighting.
Yeah.
Very good.
I do like he's fighting the dinosaur, gets distracted by the gong, and then the dinosaur bites him on the arm. He's like, stop!
If only he had been eating more fruits and vegetables, he'd make it further than the first floor.
I really like that. Like, it's kind of
Such a
an
good reveal.
obvious
Yeah.
sight gag now, but it's still quite funny. Like, you've seen him exhausted 2 shots, or 2 shots, and he's like literally 10 feet off the
I
ground.
do love the pilots. He's sure taking his sweet time. Better go refuel.
And again, love heart finish.
Yeah.
Oh,
dun, dun.
Homer, after she eats her dad.
Wait, I can't find your father.
Yeah, so this is like a weird, almost little backstory of how Mr. Bouvier died. But although we find out later in Puffless that it was lung cancer.
Oh, that's dark.
That's much sadder.
Yeah.
I'd rather be eaten by a giant gorilla.
Yeah, for sure.
And also on the newspaper headline, woman weds ape, just Dick Cavett born.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
He was a talk show host back in
Did he always look like he was born 40 years old? Because the picture next to the headline is
Yeah.
a pretty old guy.
No, I think, that was the joke but it was just an interesting thing.
I did like the line from Burns just before he throws the grenade. Get a snoot full of this gas.
Snoot.
Snoot.
And there was another Jordan's Anal Corner.
No.
Connor? They get short as we go on because it gets tiring.
Yeah, where Burns is like, it's a win-win. If he's alive, we'll sell him to Broadway. If he's dead, monkey stew for the army. And then when they're shooting at him, he goes, we don't want to kill him. Aim for his groin and feet or something.
Chest
Belly
area.
and groin.
Belly and groin. All right, so yeah, that does me for this section. So the next one as well starts out with Marge offering to...
Fruit is nature's candy.
Yeah, fruit to the kids. And then just someone pegs an ashtray at her. It's just like...
You don't
fucking
deny
hell.
kids candy
Grim.
on Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, when Ned pops in and he's like, hi, fellow Halloweenies. Like, he even makes Halloween lame. God damn
But his
Ned.
costume's so good.
It is so good.
Got squirting blood and everything.
Which is really inconsistent with late Ned, who would not have got down for...
when he got
like,
flanderized.
Yeah,
For,
he wouldn't
yeah.
have Halloween
super-
at all.
Super occult.
Yeah.
When it-
Anti-occultness.
Sooner go as a flower to Halloween.
Although that does seem very fitting.
Yeah. I've got a story so scary you wet your pants.
Too late.
Too late. See, Abe at it again.
Hey, fucking...
He's just killing it.
Yeah. So this leads in... Oh, fuck. I didn't say any of the writers as we were going through. So Clown Without Pity, that was written by Al Jean and Mike Reese. King Homer was written by Jake Hogan and Wallace Wolodarski. And this section, Dial Z for Zombies, was written by Sam Simon, R.I.P., and John Vitti.
Yeah. Nice.
There we go. That's that information.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Dial Z for Zombies?
A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, this is probably the most horror section.
Yeah,
One of my
for sure.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And it's all kind of like gross enough that it's horror-ish, but it's cartoony enough that it's
Yeah.
still kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, you're not grossed out by any of it, but it's all like the zombies are all oddly animated, and I don't.
It's definitely the Simpsons do zombies.
Yeah, cartoon grotesque.
Yes, yeah, but it was excellent. I love the reason that that Bart even finds the occult section of the library because he did a book report on the ABC book for
From
children.
A to apple to Z to zebra.
It's an alphabetic
But
adventure.
Did you read a book meant for 4-year-olds?
Read
Most of it.
Yeah.
And it just starts with find Waldo yet again.
Man,
Oh man, he's not even trying
And
anymore.
in the picture, there's a picture of a kid just pointing at him.
Yeah. Yeah, just on the beach, Waldo's up in front and center, and yeah.
And then he walks into the occult section of the library. All the Dewey Decimal System numbers are 666 on the shelf.
Oh, is that what you guys were laughing at there?
Yeah.
I missed that. That's good.
Terrible filing system, but good joke.
Oh, Willie's. They're pretty as a picture.
Yeah.
Zombies!
There. Like he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He just wants the garden beds, which he's tending to at like midnight.
Yeah.
It's dark.
24-hour job.
What's he doing?
I will say one line that I don't like from this section is when Homer does kill the zombie Flanders and Dad, you killed the zombie Flanders. He was a zombie? I don't really pay this.
Wow.
Yeah.
The setup's a bit poor.
Yeah, because the implication is that just Homer on a whim would blast Flanders with a shotgun.
Just given the chance.
I know it's a
It
Treehouse
kinda
of
sounds
Horror,
like it
and we
would.
suspend a lot of this shit, but
Yeah. Unprovoked, just kills him.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a jerk ass.
Not unprovoked. He did say, I want to eat your brainly doodly, or whatever he says.
I don't mind if I gnaw your ear.
Oh,
that's right.
chew your ear, yeah, playing with that old catchphrase.
I made it up, but
No, I just thought it was. I quite liked it when he shoots Flanders in the face.
I think,
For
shoot,
no
I
reason.
think that you shot the zombie Flanders is just a bit of a heavy-handed line, but that's like literally the only thing I have bad to say about this entire episode.
I don't know. I just really wish it was like something more like he got to live out a fantasy here.
Yeah,
You know?
like, kill my boss. Do I dare to live out the American dream?
Also, I love Bart's doing the occult ritual at the cemetery. He's wearing just a Thriller LP as a hat, which I can't tell if it's supposed to be like foreboding for the future of what he's doing, or he just decided he needed a hat. And all he had was an LP cover.
Because it's a thriller. You know, because thriller.
No,
zombie-
no,
Oh,
but
he
okay.
knows.
if that's leaning towards that, or if it's not supposed to be, I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, probably it is, but I'm just like,
Yeah, and all the names he's like listing off when he's doing the spell: Banachek, Kowalski, and
Ramses,
Like hockey
Walmart.
players.
yeah, it does sound like hockey player list.
yeah.
You feel like going, your cut, and
Dad,
your cut.
we did something very bad. Did you
you
wreck
wreck
the
the
car? No.
Did you raise the dead?
Yes. The
The
car's
car's
okay.
I love that. Yeah, those are the two extremes.
He just doesn't care. He doesn't even bother covering the front door. Marge gives him one job.
Barricade the
board
door.
at the front?
Why? The zombie.
Oh,
Oh,
no. Oh, yeah, and the zombies going, no, brains! And they're like super indignant that
Yeah.
Homer doesn't have the brains.
That's a good, and that's like really good voice acting from people just yelling brains like zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they
It's like,
really-
we need you to be indignant.
Brains! Like, brains!
Holy fuck, this section's good.
Yep. And by the way, you used the word zombies earlier. The correct term is living impaired.
Lisa.
How dare we're going to get fucking tweets.
Yeah.
Oddly personal as well. So when they are raising the dead as well, there's actually a couple more gravestone jokes outside of the intro, which, it had a really good one. American workmanship that just
Crumbles.
crumbles.
That was almost the only one that I got.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
other
that one
three
might
I-
have been a little more at the time, kind of funny.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just like, I
One
know
was
who
like
that is.
Beckett something, and I was like, who is that?
Yeah, I had no
Well,
idea.
it's something
What?
that they did drop in the next Treehouse of Horror thing because they just found it too hard to keep coming up with more of these gags. Like, I still think they peaked when they had the Paul McCartney gravestone, which, as of recording in 2018, he is still alive.
Yeah.
We
Or
think.
we
Allegedly.
think. Or the Elvis, and then in brackets, accept it.
But when they are in the graveyard and there are a couple of grave jokes, there's Capital Critters and Family Dog, which were actually two cartoon series that got cancelled in their first seasons
Oh, there you go.
that were sort of came after the success of The Simpsons.
Ah.
Is
So-
that what Fish Police
Shots
was?
fired.
Because there was one that said Fish Police, and I'm like,
Police.
what the fuck is Fish Police?
I
Yeah.
missed Fish Police in my research, but I want to watch the fuck out of that show.
Yeah.
I can only imagine
Only the
it's-
best of. I'm not watching all of it.
No,
Yeah.
you just want the 15-minute YouTube highlights.
Yeah, just highlight.
Oh my
bits.
God, yes. Fish Police was a series. Here's some images from it.
Oh, they're not even
Oh, wow.
viewers. We're looking now at a 1950s gumshoe-inspired cartoon where all the gumshoes are fish.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can even see the Don Mafia guy who's like a fat trout.
match.
All right, so yeah, for the social medias, I think we're going to have to post up some images of Fish Police and
Hashtag fish police.
Bring back Fish Police. Bring back Fish Police.
Maybe you should watch it before
Somewhere
you
out
demand
there,
it comes
some
back.
writer is like, yes, finally, my time. We're trending.
Yeah, my TV Emmy is coming.
Honey, we were mentioned on an Australian podcast.
Well, good, because I never stopped writing episodes. There are 5,000.
I feel like the best response that man could have is everything's coming up Millhouse.
Everything's coming. Fuck, I can't think of a mill house, but it's a fish. Mullet house.
Millet
all right.
House.
Millbream. I'm floundering. Any other notes?
For some reason, George Washington and Shakespeare were zombies in Springfield Elementary School. I don't know why that was.
Yeah, one was in a locker as well.
Yeah.
And Einstein.
And Einstein.
Let Einstein. Show's over. Shakespeare.
Yeah, and he's like,
Einstein
is
playlist.
this the untimely death of Shakespeare?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
He surely died in Britain.
Yeah, and also quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a lot of flesh left to animate.
Yeah. He should have been a skeleton. Was there another skeleton in this episode?
The couch gag skeleton.
Oh, of course. So, yeah, the skeletons ran through for all three Treehouse of Horrors tonight. That's fun.
Treehouse of Skeletons.
Skelly House of Horrors.
Yep.
John Smith, 1882.
Stick.
And I imagine like that's such a clever idea that there'd be millions of people with the same name.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
I like I'll see you in hell. Still pushing that boulder. You know it.
But yeah, that my mistake line, like in that moment, I just thought it'd be like, yeah, zombies were like doing the zombie walk and then they like walk into each other in the street and then they both try walk left and they both try walk right. Like it's that sort of thing. Like
That would be
so
an
funny.
awesome start to then like a thriller dance.
Yeah.
Like just two zombies trying to pass each other.
Yeah, you can be awkward and undead. That's like the whole basis of what we do in the shadows.
Yeah. I didn't think much of the Barney eating the fucking arm bit.
Nah.
No, that was dumb.
Yeah, went in right. Like, yeah.
Like you should have been drinking beer.
Yeah,
Or a zombie. One of the two.
zombie. My second worst word besides least snail.
Oh wait, that explains my note. I wrote, "What's wrong, snail?" And now and then I forgot what the fuck snail means.
I was just trying to figure out what Lee Snail was. I'm like,
yeah.
What's wrong, snail? I thought that was good visual, though.
No, I agree totally.
I do like how it was set up that they were trying to race Snowball 1, nice bit of Simpsons in continuity, yeah. And Kang and Kodos get a quick little scene in this episode as well.
yeah, just basically laughing.
Just laughing at
Yeah.
the humans.
Maniacal laugh.
I did like Quimby's. The zombies that were walking out, terrorizing our town, and now the corpses rotting in our streets.
Yay.
On the
The
ending.
finale was brilliant.
Yes.
Bit of social satire there, isn't it? Just
Yeah. Shh. TV.
Man, fall down. Funny.
funny.
Mm.
So-
This is,
I always think of that when there's a shitty sitcom and there's shitty canned laughter, which sounds pre-recorded, like man fall down. And
Funny.
but
I mean-
football in the groin has a football in the groin.
You mean Big Bang Theory, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I can see you visualizing that as you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice end to that episode.
yeah, it didn't end with the love heart wipe, but
No.
yeah, still fucking excellent.
It's kind of a love heart wipe to your own brain and think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
You zombie.
And so nicely that you don't even notice that they never returned to the party after that.
Didn't need to.
No,
Until-
didn't need to, yeah.
I pointed out for you.
Oh, I
Thanks-
noticed.
Thanks for ruining the whole episode, Elliot.
Let's do a quick questionnaire. How many times before tonight have you seen this?
10 to 15.
Brains.
I reckon I'm at 20 brains.
Yeah, I've seen this way too much.
Yeah.
Like, this is just, it's so good. How did you think they handled the horror in this Treehouse of Horror?
Oh, beautifully. Because it was never too overwhelming. Like you said, there's always a kind of a nice ending, as long as you survive the horror.
Yeah. Like, King Homer objectively isn't a horror story, but,
Mm. Enough people die.
yeah, enough people die that it reaches the horror quota. But yeah, in terms of parody as well, what do you guys think of how they...
There's a great moment where Homer reaches in to grab Marge, and it does like a shot-for-shot recreation of that awkward kind of the hand moving back.
Yeah.
The giant mechanical monkey arm pulling back out of frame.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, I really would be interested to see if there's some side-by-side stuff with King Homer in this one.
I guarantee.
Probably would, because it seems like they've done enough homage to it to take the time to make it the same. So
Yeah.
I would guess so.
And we were saying before, yeah, Clown Without Pity, that's just a great play on the Twilight Zone one and also from the Chucky series, assumingly.
Yeah, I mean, it's all killer doll stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, zombie parody as well. They weren't going after anything. I guess there's a bit of Night of the Living Dead.
A little bit, but not like a heap.
Wait, what's the blue zombie one? Dawn of the Dead?
Dawn of the Dead, yeah.
Original Dawn of the Dead, yeah, a bit of that too.
Excellent film.
Ultimately, did this feel like a Treehouse of Horror?
This sets the bar for the
Yeah,
film.
I think this is the Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah,
Really.
if you want a feeling, you get this.
So,
A whole cup of feeling.
are you going to watch it again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. I will.
Definitely.
Not tonight, but, in the future.
Yeah, tomorrow.
All right.
Like tomorrow.
On the way home.
Yeah.
What other playlist would you put this in?
The toaster is laughing at me.
Homer's in a toga. I'm sure that's happened before.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Hermocles.
Yeah, Homer
Hermocles cares not for beans.
Also, it's like, how do you do it, Homer? This? You just take a bed sheet, fold it in half, and drop it across your shoulder.
No.
the parents thing. Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, the toaster as well comes up in another Treehouse
Yeah.
of Horror. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good
Oh, that's
one
a good
as well.
one too, yeah.
Mustn't kill, mustn't crush. Oh, I wish I hadn't killed that
Time and
fish.
Punishment.
Time and punishment, that's it.
Yeah, one of the ones that we burnt very early in the podcast run when I'm like, yeah, let's do Treehouse of Horrors. Oh shit, we burnt off 2 of the best episodes ever already.
Yeah, they're classics.
You
Yeah.
fools.
So let's rank this thing. BT?
Yeah, it's got to be a cubic zirconia. There are some of my favorite parts, period, in this. From Mr. Burns strolling through the gas to the Froget back and forth. It's lovely.
All right, cool. How about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, this is the free frozen yogurt of Froget?
Yes,
Frozen yogurt.
But
It's
cursed.
fantastic. Cubic zirconia all the way.
All right, Phil.
I have to do the same. QZ for me. I think it's either this one and the treehouse that has the bleeding walls possessed house in it.
number 1.
Yeah, is it number
The
one?
first
is it?
one, yeah.
Yeah, those are the golds. Well, the diamond standard that everything else needs to reach.
Cubic, much more valuable.
Yes. Wait a second.
Let me have a think.
Oh,
If you're feeling gold, no, I can kind of appreciate a gold. I think this one's lost a bit of its luster through time because I'm so familiar with it, but I feel like that's mostly a good thing.
I think also horror-wise, the Homer Kong section kind of mellows it out because it's not really...
It's not ramping up the intensity.
Yeah, it's more like it's a damn good parody, but it's not.
So if you're
A
going
horror
failure,
movie.
Elliot, that's okay.
No, like I've already written down gold. Yeah, I'm going gold for this section. This Treehouse of Horror, rather. Yeah, I understand the booze, and I don't know. I just
I feel
don't.
bad now.
No, you gotta follow the hearts. I'll admit I was kind of considering it, but then I'm like, it's so iconic.
See, that's like my problem. I feel like Wrath of the Internet would make me go cubic, but like I've got to go with these are the personal rankings, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, my heart's saying gold, but I mean, a fucking excellent Treehouse of Horror.
Hey, a
no
gold
matter
is
what.
a good rank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's an excellent rank, in fact. All right, so this will be a dull cubic zirconia averaged out. This will be joining other dull cubic zirconias as Treehouse of Horror 1, which Claire gave a gold, which now I know how she feels because she was really against the room on that one. And yeah, other dull cubic zirconias, 3 Men and a Comic Book, and also some other ones from season 4, I Love Lisa, the Ralph falls in love with Lisa episode.
I choose you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was the one dulling that cubic as well.
oh, you heartless bastard.
Oh, and Duffless, I dulled that one too.
To be
That's
fair, that's a harder sell, but yeah.
Which one was that one?
Homer quits beer for 30 days.
Yeah.
And it's also got the B story of fucking...
Lisa with the cupcakes testing Bart and is my brother dumber than a hamster?
yeah,
Oh,
brilliant. Okay, yep.
Yeah, and also Homer Palooza, which we reviewed with Hottest 100s and Thousands. Realty Bites, where Marge becomes a real estate agent.
It's a good one.
And HOMR, where Homer finds that he has a crayon in his brain.
Such good one. I love that episode. The excuse where Dr. Hibbert's never found it is because he puts his thumb over the same spot. Like, that's such a clever way to get out of it.
Yes, I covered that up pretty well.
It's so good. And then he's just like, I'll show myself out. And just leaves.
Yeah, that's brilliant. All right, guys, it's time for us to get out of here. But before we go, we just want to mention some things that we're into lately, sort of film, music, books, podcasts, TV shows, whatever you want. So starting with you, Phil, what have you been into lately that you want to recommend to the good folks out there?
I started to read a very short novella called Pod, which is a sci-fi fantasy thing about an invasion of Earth. I can't remember who wrote it because I only got the book yesterday.
It's by Stephen Wallenfels.
But check it out. Pod. It's excellent.
It wasn't Matthew Riley?
It was absolutely not Matthew Riley. And you know why? Because there's no exclamation marks in ending of any of the sentences.
And there's no maps.
There's no maps. And there's
Or text messages is plot narrative. It's like, fuck that.
And there's no like napkin drawings of the place where he's trying to describe.
God. He's such a dick. I hate him so much. He's Australian too. It's the worst part.
And you know what? He has a fucking DeLorean. And he drives it around Castle Hill because he's a private school boy, and I want to punch him.
So if we see a
He
DeLorean,
lives around here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I didn't know he was in Castle Hill.
No, Crow's Nest, sorry. I think he's like,
Crow's Nest.
he's somewhere this side of the
well,
bridge.
Matthew Riley, if you want to defend yourself,
Oh,
podcast door is open.
Fucking write a book about it,
that's
you
my
dickhead.
podcast. It's like, Matthew Riley's a shit writer. Prove me wrong. Matthew Riley.
Come at me, bro.
Only Matthew Riley can Matthew.
I mean, like episode 10, still no word from Matthew Riley. It's like he's too scared. He'd write me a Twitter, but he can't figure out how to get 130 characters in a row.
Oh.
Boom.
I mean, I challenged Trump to a boxing match like 20 episodes ago, if not more. Still waiting.
He does have a lot of things on his plate. Like
He has time to talk about how good Roseanne's ratings are and, call her. I think he knows.
Dude, you'd kill him with those little hands. He's fucking nothing. Just like,
Yeah.
just flailing at you with wet lettuce.
Anytime, any place. I won't even bother training.
Don't even.
How
Yeah.
about you, BT? Besides challenging Trump to fights, what else are you into these days?
It's a bit of a weird one because I'm going off a non-recommendation. So the trailer for The Haunting of Hill House is out. The series looks really very, very different from the book it's based on. I'm going to recommend go read the book. It's super good.
Shirley Jackson,
Shirley
right?
Jackson, one of my favorite writers, one of my favorite books.
Sorry, she wrote something that's referenced in a Simpsons, didn't she?
The Lottery.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So before you go watch the series, which I haven't seen yet, which may or may not be garbage, go read her book, which is amazing.
Wow, that's a very unique recommendation.
I know.
How about you, Jimmy?
Quick double for me.
Yeah, you can have
I've
two.
upgraded parts of my computer and been playing Fallout 4, which is
Nice.
really cool. And I hadn't previously been able to play through it, but it looks fantastic on my new rig, and I'm loving it. That's cool.
Nice.
Second thing, I'm going to shout out Artie Ziff. I'm listening to a cool podcast on BJJ. It's called Grappling Dads, and it's a couple of, I think they're Canadian, but they could be American. They sound North American.
So they're from Canada or Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I don't know exactly where they're from, but they're
Minnesota.
they're very funny dudes, and they're just talking about the best way to get someone to crawl on top of you and lose a fight. So it is excellent.
Crawl on top of me. Let's sort this out like men.
Oh, interesting. All right, and yeah, I'm just going to reinforce what I said earlier in the episode. Donut County is a game that's available for most of the phones and anything that you got a touch screen on. It is a lot of fun. It is a very simple puzzler. It's something that can be enjoyed from young to old. Like, it is just such an awesome, simple mechanic. You start out as a small hole. You swallow small things. Your hole gets bigger. You swallow bigger things. Phil's got this look saying innuendo.
I'd stop.
But yeah, it leads to a lot of...
Speaking of Phil, just before he says what his face is saying. Stop. Just put it away. Put it away. Put your hole away. All right. Your face hole. Stop.
But yeah, Donut County, it's a little bit of a short game, but it's also worth the money because, like, it's fun as a playthrough, and then if you... if you play through with kids, it's also a lot of fun as well. Like
You lost me at money.
So are you saying Donut County?
Donut County.
County. Okay.
Yeah, seriously, worth every cent. Like,
Yeah,
I
nice.
don't normally recommend phone games or anything because most phone
Is it
games
sort of
are
a
bullshit.
puzzler?
Yeah. So it's like a 3D world, and yeah, you're just this hole, and you swallow things, and
Yeah.
it leads to other mechanics. Like you get a slingshot, and that leads to other things. And it is genius in its simplicity.
Cool.
All right, guys, that does it for the Simpsons Index, the 5th Treehouse of Horror-thon. Thank you very much for joining us at wherever you're listening to this podcast, and thank you for joining me in the studio. Thank you, Jimmy Mac.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Phil Calloway.
Make sure you read your Necrocomic-Con.
As he always says. And thank you, BT Calloway.
Well, that's what I'm called in our universe.
And Elliot Jay O'Neill. That's all the mustard in the haunted house.
Ooh,
The
good
mustard is
callback.
also haunted.
But it comes with Frogan.
That's good.
No, it isn't. Frogurt with mustard.
That's bad. Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. You can chat to us online at facebook.com/thesimpsonsindex or at Simpsons Index on Twitter and Instagram. And now please stay tuned for the bonus scenes!
Yesterday,
There's a dog here this whole time?
yesterday that would have been correct. Yeah, past couple of episodes we've had dogs in the studio.
Been good.
Yeah.
No, don't say that. Now James is sad. 'Cause he,
Yeah,
hasn't
sad.
been- he knows the dog's been here. He can feel his presence.
Maybe watch that episode and now no dogs.
There were poodles as well, so they're like super floofy.
Mm.
You almost lost me. All right.
Oh.
They were strudels?
Sure, you're one of those like Dachshund people. I don't know. I can think of another breed right now.
Oh, you're a dash hound.
I'm just trying to think, what's the opposite of a poodle?
You're probably close.
Yeah.
A cat.
No,
No,
they're pretty
the-
close to a cat.
They're
Oh,
basically
yeah.
the same, yeah.
Oh, imagine if there were like poodle cats.
Never-
Prats.
Any dog under 5 pounds is a cat, and cats are pointless.
I just aesthetically, I was wondering why it's drawn that Homer's looking off camera while he's delivering this. Like he's not looking at camera, he's not directing the audience. He's telling someone beside
Yeah,
the
but it's like
camera.
a little bit slightly off center. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that's the way Hitchcock did it.
Honestly,
I mean, I don't think so, but
No,
maybe.
I don't think so either.
Simpsons front facing is just that's
Yeah, so maybe it's
cursed.
just to avoid Simpsons
Yep.
front facing.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah,
Weird
because
drawings.
Actually, that
Mm.
makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfectly symmetrical eyes.
that's something that we're starting to put up in our social media promotions is sort of awkward front facing moments. And
Yeah.
the latest
Ugh.
one that we got with Agnes, she looks like fucking ass face from Preacher.
Okay.
It makes sense. Look it up.
I've seen 2 episodes of Preacher.
I liked
was-
Preacher. I just didn't continue on with it. But yeah.
It didn't grab me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to like it. I got about 6 episodes in, and I just stopped.
That's about where I got to.
Yeah, I got 2 and was like, it's kind of
I keep
pointless.
hearing great things, like, but
Yeah.
am I missing something?
Yeah.
But like,
I
people
don't
still
think
watch Bold and Beautiful.
Here's my theory for TV these days. There are so many just fucking low bar idiots who everything is great TV to them.
Yeah.
It's all great TV. And so if you just talk to lots of people about lots of TV, it's all great.
Yeah.
But it's not.
You'll
Yeah.
find someone that loves it. Yeah.
It's really not.
Yeah,
There's
the-
like a lot of shit in average TV.
The median's not medium.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very low ball.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I did once meet a guy who swore he'd never seen a bad movie. I'm like, how? What?
He's not trying to.
I don't know. I'd
He
like,
saw one and it was real good.
He saw The Shining.
He was
Oh,
like,
great.
damn. Elliot, watch The Shining.
Yes.
Yeah, was that guy Elliot?
no. Elliot's seen shitty movies.
Oh, yeah, I have.
There's a podcast about it.
Yeah.
It's called Sharknado.
The Sharknado Index. Paranormal,
Wellington Paranormal
Yeah.
is getting a second season. Nice.
Oh, it is?
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw
cool.
that because I didn't realize it had a first one. I'm like, how's this had a whole season that I've not noticed?
Well, yeah, I've really got to get on it because I didn't realize it was a spin-off from What
Yeah.
We Do in the Shadows.
I
That's
told you that on this podcast.
Where is it watchable? How do you get it?
SBS iView. You have
Yeah,
to
nice.
sign up, but it's free and that's fine.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
I knew it was the same team. I didn't realize it was sort of in universe.
Yeah, no, I'm realizing I think I just said it was the same team. I may have neglected that it was in universe.
We were both wrong, man.
Yeah, it's
all right.
okay.
Love heart wipe. Da, 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 da.
Guys, it's getting really awkward in here.
Let's chill out with some zombie radio.
Smooth.